Hi, everybody. How we doing?
Steve's looking good.
Yeah, I am always looking good, my guy.
That's true.
Thank you very much.
Here,
Hold
wait.
on,
I think
let me do a little sassy hair flip. There we go.
That was
gorgeous.
clean.
Yeah.
So let's do a little introduction, guys, because I'm really excited about this, and we know what's going on, but we got to fill everybody else in.
I could use an update. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I forget bits and pieces.
Yep. More than that for me.
I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. So
I didn't even know we were doing this until like 2 days ago.
All right. So we are a motley little crew that is getting together to run a one-shot that Jess has created. It's actually the sequel to a one-shot that we ran privately on our own probably like 2 months ago at this point. But it's one of several really cool adventures that Jess has on their DMs Guild. And this is called A Murder in Mossbank. The dead don't die. The dead don't die. When we ran the original Murder in Mossbank adventure before, the three of you had come to this small town called Mossbank. And you had come because there was this really cool celebration called the Battle of the Barbarians, which is something this town holds annually. But when you had gotten there, it had been some bad timing because there had been the death of a dearly beloved member of the community, and you happened to show up like on the day that kind of the funeral was happening, and a lot of places were closed, and everyone was kind of feeling the effects of it. So you ended up as a team. You met with the mayor of Mossbank, talked about what had happened, and you were able to solve a murder mystery around the death of this citizen, which you all were successful in doing. And I won't go into too many more details because I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't read or done the adventure for themselves. So I encourage everybody to go and do so because it was actually really fun. The one thing I will say is we had an absolutely fabulous time at the butcher shop. So I highly recommend going to see Butch Cassidy at the butcher shop in Mossbank.
I was just going to say, I'm re-looking over my notes real quick, and I'm in the butcher section, and in my notes it just says, why sniff eggs? Why sniff eggs? So we had an experience last time.
Yes, it was really cool. So now we get to visit Mossbank again together. For us, it's only been a couple of months, but in the actual game universe, it's a year later.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
So if you guys are, if you actually really quick, why don't we do little introductions of who we all are just to kind of ease everybody into us, and then we can start the adventure. Does that sound Gucci?
Sounds Gucci, my guy.
Awesome. Well, for those of you who don't know, my name is Kim, Kimmy, Ginger, whichever you prefer. I go by Ginger Owl Girl on Twitch. You may have seen me do some co-streams with Jess. Usually we play Pokemon on Wednesdays. And I will be running the adventure as the DM for today. And as you can see by the lovely overlay we have going on, I use she, her pronouns. Yeah, that's all I got. I run Pokemon D&D with a lot of these guys on the side, so I am very used to this group. I am used to their humor and their shenanigans, so I just want to tell everybody to be prepared. Who wants to take it away? Stove?
Yes. So hello, I'm Steve, also known as Stev or Stove. I am at Festival Picnic. Right there, I think. At Festival Picnic on Twitch. I do Twitch streams 5 nights a week. And at Festival_YT on Twitter. That's you boy. I am large and not often in charge.
Do you wanna tell us who you're playing as too?
That works. Okay. So I am playing as Drac. I am a orc rogue. Yes, you heard that right. That is correct. I am an orc rogue. And that's all I'm going to say, because I want y'all to maybe make this connection on your own.
Brian?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Hello. I'm Brian. I don't have any social media because I'm what we like to call lazy. I don't know. I just don't do that stuff.
Smart, maybe?
I don't know. There's not much to say about me really, other than I'm playing as a birdman. I think it's a Kenku, if I remember correctly. I'm a warlock because I thought that would be an interesting combo. Don't know if it's gonna work. I mean, maybe in a real D&D it wouldn't. Luckily, we're starting at whatever level 5. Is that what level we're at? 3?
Hey,
I believe you guys are 5th level, yeah.
there you go.
So able to have all the cool buffs and stuff. Couldn't say if that would work early game. Either way, we're trying it.
I'm not letting you anywhere near eggs this session. It's not happening.
I was going to
Me?
say Squid,
No, that
yes.
was me that
Stealth
did the
also.
eggs.
You
I
may,
didn't
like
do the eggs.
Eggs again.
you may try. You are certainly
Leave
allowed
me
to
alone.
Sneak you an egg.
try.
All right, Zach.
Not going there.
Yeah, I'm Zach. I forgot that my Twitter handle was Gurren Ledwell. I'm also not super active on that stuff. Sometimes I play games with Steve. We've done Stardew a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm
my
playing
boy.
as Zonk Elric,
That's
and
right.
I'm a big beefy warforged.
Love that.
And I've been the guy who programmed me made it so I intermittently beat boop in conversations, and I'm fueled by a good brew.
All right.
Yeah.
So this motley crew of ours is currently adventuring elsewhere, but in your adventures, a year after you have visited Mossbank for the first time, you receive a letter. A letter is somehow sent to you from the mayor of Mossbank himself. You will remember this mayor. His name is Amos Dappermont, and he writes to you with a request. And he says, "Dear adventurers, friends, comrades, though our last meeting was, well, maybe a little awkward, I do appreciate what you have done for my town. You were able to help bring the trust and confidence of the citizens back together and helping us to solve a particularly, well, shifty kind of murder. I come to you with the request of another problem that I am having in my town, and I don't trust many other people to help handle this, but it would seem, well, that there are some grave robberies happening in Mossbank, and our town is once again divided on whom has done this to us. You may remember some familiar faces in our town, and I would like you to come and talk to them and see if you can help us figure out what's happening with these grave robberies, as we are not able to determine it for ourselves. We also have the Battle of the Barbarians taking place again this year, and we do plan to make it much grander than last year. I would like you to attend while you're here as well. Who knows what you'll learn while you're in the throes of battle. Please come to Mossbank as soon as you can. Sincerely, Amos Dappermont." It is after you receive this letter that you make your way back to the small town. The last time, or when you had left this town last time, you remember Horace telling you it probably wouldn't be super wise to come back, considering what the three of you got into while you were in the town. But it is very hard to say no to such a attentive, friendly mayor who kind of went through a run of it himself when you met him initially. When the three of you finally get to Mossbank, it's kind of exactly as you remember. It's just a little more jovial because of the festivities with the battle going on. A lot of the shops are closed, but instead of the feeling of kind of like isolation and mourning from last time, you can hear like the thrumming of adventure and battle in the air. And you see that a lot of the towns have, signs in their doors, saying, "See you at the arena," or "Closed for the battle," rather than just having, no lights on. There are a few small shops that remain open because they tend to be very profitable around this time of year. Some of these places that you recognize, one of them is I lost the list. The City Watch Station is always open, obviously, to keep security in check. You have the Traverse Coin, which is a bank that you did not visit in your last stay here, but you remember passing by a few times. The Hum Buddy local tavern, obviously, is going to have some business. You also notice a couple of shops that maybe you haven't seen before. You'll notice one of them is kind of towards like the more higher end of town. It's this very lovely looking marble building. It's the Louis Vuitton luxury store. And you will also notice that at the bottom of the hill, a little bit closer to the bank and towards the regular shop section of town, is a lovely little shop called the Abrac Apothecary, which is advertised as an apothecary shop that is filled with lots of different kinds of potions, but is most notably recognized for its family planning section. So you can obviously, as you come into this town, you can identify that the battle, you can identify where the arena is by the sounds of battle. Though you did not visit it last time, it is definitely one of Mossbank's most notable locations, as well as the shops that are open. And you actually notice, maybe for the first time, given the nature of the letter that you received, on the top of the hill in the back of the town is the Mossbank Memorial Hill, which is where the graveyard is. It's somewhere you wouldn't have thought to visit initially, but it now kind of stands out like an ink stain on paper in this town. So initially when you arrive, you don't see anyone necessarily greeting, like you don't recognize anybody immediately when you get to town. But it definitely seems like, the majority of what's happening is at the arena, with the exception of the few people that are walking around between the bank, the Abrac Apothecary, and the tavern, the Hum Buddy Inn. Where do you want to visit first?
Is that the inn from last time where we had our night of debauchery? Okay, I think we should go to the inn first. Anyone else?
I agree. Why not?
Cool. I'm good with that. I want to hit the apothecary afterwards.
Oh no, I definitely want to go to the apothecary, but I think the inn would be interesting. See if that lady's still bartending.
Yeah, so you guys make your way to a very familiar inn. However, you will notice that when you arrive, there is a sign on the door that says the Hum Buddy Inn will reopen again at 2 p.m. for lunch. And I would say it is currently a few hours before 2 p.m. So unfortunately, you can't quite make it there. However, I will let you know that, oh boy, let's see. You can definitely smell like the freshness of the ale coming from the building. Like when you walked up to it, it's just kind of a very familiar smell.
Love that.
And there is, through the window, if you kind of peek in the window, you will see a very familiar bartender who looks at you very briefly through the window and gives you a wave before returning back to her work. So,
like completely stone-faced, just kind of like.
Can't wait to come back here for a beep broop later.
A beep.
I'll see myself out. Thank you for having me.
So
hashtag apothecary?
Yeah, I'm down to go there.
Yeah. So, plot twist: the second murder in Mossbank is we kill Zach. We have to find out who did it.
You can fucking try.
I know. You definitely beat me.
I'm a big tanky boy.
I know you would. You would kick my ass.
So you arrive to this apothecary. It's actually very easy to find, first of all, because it is located next to the chopped liver butchery, which is the butchery that you visited last time you were here. However,
the chopped liver. Sorry.
However, you will notice that the doors are closed and there is a sloppily handwritten sign in the window that says, joining the battle, fresh meat available tomorrow morning. Signed, Butch.
Whoa.
Signed, Butch.
And so you see that next to it is the Abrac Apothecary. It's a small shop located next to the butchery. There are these smells of citrus pine coming out of it like immediately. And when you walk into the building, you'll notice it is very well stocked with all of these different potions. I mean, potions of different colors, different viscosity. The bottles are all sorts of, glass, both colored and clear. There's a large display that's labeled as the family planning section, which is in the see-through locked shelves, and that seems to be one of the bigger draws of the shop. However, you'll also notice that it seems there is a large section of health potions, which are definitely a little bit marked up in price from what you're used to paying for health potions. In the Abrac Apothecary, there are a couple of what look to be, fighters, warriors that are definitely here for, excuse me, to stock up for the battle. And there is, sorry, I'm trying to switch between pages and I'm not doing it very successfully.
I'm good.
I can't find her. Hold on. Okay, and you will see that there is a character. There is a woman standing behind the counter. She's a middle-aged tiefling. She has deep brown eyes and wears glasses, very, very nice glasses that frame her face, and has a smile that immediately just everyone in the room is infected by this smile. Her hair seems to be buzzed down, and she has several rainbow-colored earrings on her ears, and even a couple of charms hanging off of her tiefling horns.
Sorry, what did you say she was?
I missed that too.
A middle-aged tiefling.
A tiefling?
Which may not be how it's actually pronounced, but that's how I say it, so if anybody doesn't like that, sorry.
Question, DM.
Mm-hmm.
Are the effects of heal wounds potions instantaneous?
Oh.
Go ahead and ask me questions I don't know the answer to off the top of my head.
This is my...
Well, I think if it's a standard health potion, I think it's a lot like the potions in our Pokemon campaign where you have to roll like 2d4 plus whatever, like there's whatever it is. So it's instantaneous, yes, but the amount you gain back depends on how well you roll and the type of healing potion that it is.
So I am going to walk up to the shopkeeper and inquire about her stock of health potions, prices and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you walk up and, she sees the three of you walk up and she very much, has a very wide smile in her mouth and she goes, well, hello, travelers. You must be here for my wares for the battle. Are you participating today? Perhaps I can interest you in some high-grade health potions to keep you standing on your feet.
Are you a changeling?
I'm a tiefling.
I'm going to take a single gold piece, put it on the counter, slide it forward with my index finger, and go, how about now?
I don't exactly know what you're getting at, but if you aren't here for my potions, I would suggest that you find the door.
Oh, no, I would also like to shop, please.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Well, I have a couple of different kind of healing potions, and I also have a wonderful assortment of, and she kind of looks at the three of you and narrows her eyes a little bit. She goes, family planning potions, if that's something you're interested in.
I will furrow my brow and say, elaborate, please.
Well, you see, I very much, care about the safety and well-being of any patrons to my shop. And, well, Mossbank very much is in need of such services and products that I sell here, and I wouldn't be a very good businesswoman if I didn't at least try to help adventurers along the way. And I don't know your, again, looking you up and down a little bit, situation, but if you do plan to partake in Mossbank's many different activities, it might not hurt to have a little backup. Guys, I'm having Whitney flashbacks. Please dig me out of this hole.
I'm gonna approach like the glass cabinet, right? It's in a cabinet.
Yes, like a lock.
Yeah, and kind of like look up and down a little bit, and then scratch my chin and say, "Well, they may try, but the Tordes clan is known to be particularly virile." You brought it up. You put it in the game.
He told me this is how
I'd like to clarify that Jess technically put it in the game. I just flavored it. And then you guys took the line and went, whoop!
Oh, okay. I'm gonna ask. Does she know where we can find the mayor?
See, now that's the question a reasonable person would ask.
Where the mayor at?
Yes. It would probably be important to introduce yourselves to the mayor. If you plan to be part of the Battle of the Barbarians, you can find him at the arena. I believe he is there, showing good face, as he always does. And she just smiles infectiously, but kind of holding back a little bit, not quite sure what to make of the three of you. Hands kind of clasped in front of her.
But for real, though, I would like to buy some health potions, please.
I will be waiting outside.
So you will notice there is a selection of health potions. There are 3 different grades of health potions that are sold here. The first is a basic healing potion, which runs you at 50 gold each, greater healing for 100 gold each, and superior healing, which is in these, think like a Crown Royale kind of bottle, for about 500 gold pieces.
I would like to buy, please. Can I get 4 of the big boys, the tall boys?
The superior healings?
Yeah.
So the tiefling reaches for the shelf where the potions are, grabs 3 of them, and goes, "These are some of my finest works. I am very proud of how these turn out." And kind of, collects them, puts them on the shelf, kind of holds them in between her hands, like not quite ready to give them up, and goes, "That will run you at 1,500 gold pieces, sir."
Well, I'll take. I'm dishing up. Let's do this. I will slide that 1,500 right on the table.
All right, and she, looks at the coin, counts it swiftly but accurately, and goes, "Ah, well, I am very happy to have your business, and I do hope that you all return. Of course, I am always happy to, offer my healing services to any generous adventurers such as yourselves," and slides the bottles towards you as she takes the coin.
I will stash them in my explorer's pack. I will stash those in my explorer's pack, and the whole time holding like a deadpan, like stone face kind of thing, and then you guys know that meme? I don't know if it's a meme, but like the part from The Big Bang Theory where they're trying to teach Sheldon how to smile pleasantly, and he like has like the serial killer smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna like pause and then like flash one of those, and then turn and walk out of the store.
Okay, so you're now back out on the streets of Mossbank, and you are given that information that Mayor Amos is at the arena.
To the arena!
To the arena! All right, so you head to this arena, which you did not visit last time you were here. You were aware of it, but I think it just wasn't kind of in your, peripheral. But it's a large fighting pit that's used pretty much exclusively for the Battle of the Barbarians and larger town meetings. It's set up as a small, recently renovated coliseum. So you'll notice that like the structure of it definitely looks a bit newer. It's the arena itself is kind of like this hexagonal shape with bleachers and seating all around it. There is only one entrance and exit to the arena, and it's just completely packed with these just rowdy spectators. I mean, they're like jumping in their seats. They have little like banners and flags that they're waving. Some of them have like painted faces, really rowdy sports arena, right? There's bloodstains and battle axes covering the floor. The battle has definitely been going on already today, but from knowing the history of Mossbank, you'll know that this battle will probably happen all day long, like even past sunset. When you arrive at the arena, the ticket stand has a sign that says that they are completely sold out. However, you'll see, those people that stand outside of like concert arenas and sports ones, and they're always like, "Oh, I'll sell you a ticket for like this much money, even though it's sold out."
Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna see the town opportunist, who's always trying to make a quick buck, is selling tickets for 35 gold pieces each. I would say, Brian, you are probably a little more, and maybe even Steve. I think the two of you, given your like your classes and everything, you guys definitely see two humans walk into the arena. They are vaguely familiar to you, but you can't really remember like a name. But you definitely see two humans that you somewhat recognize from Mossbank that enter the arena. But before you are able to enter the arena, you are stopped by this young male dwarf. He definitely looks a little bit angry to be there, but he seems to be the one in charge of the ticket stand and the arena itself. He has long, slick back hair in a ponytail. He wears glasses that are way too large for his face, but still give him a little bit of a sense of intimidation. And he goes, "Hold it right there." He goes, "Unfortunately, I'm sold out of tickets for this battle. But if you guys are still trying to get in, I'd be more than happy to let you in. For a battle amongst yourselves, of course."
Fight each other?
Well, if you can prove to me that you guys are good fighters, maybe I'll let you in to see the fight.
I'm confident in my strength and defensive capabilities.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'll be nice. I will produce the letter from the mayor and say, "Bring it out." The mayor summoned us here. I don't mind a quick little brawl, but it's honestly more imperative that we talk to him first.
And you'll see he's gonna take this letter, put it right up to his face, like an inch from his nose, and kind of read it like.
Same.
And well, grave robberies. I don't know anything about that. I don't really pay attention to anything in this town if it doesn't have to do with fighting anyway. But well, there is something, I guess. Look, I don't really pay attention to a lot that goes on around here, but if it's information you're looking for, well, after you talk to the mayor, why don't you go talk to my bookkeeper? Betsy Green usually hangs out at the well, I can't really tell you where Betsy hangs out, but pretty good wealth of information. Anyway, let me go see if I can grab the mayor, and like kind of looks around like for half a second and goes, "Nope, gonna have to fight your way in. Sorry."
I
Okay.
appreciate the effort.
I'm willing to take a hit if Steve wants to lend me a health potion for however much butt kicking I'm about to get.
I'm creaking all my joints, just kind of like, all right, here we go.
I'm imagining the gears starting to like slowly. You're like winding up a punch as we speak. And I'm just no hit.
I want to try to intimidate the dwarf.
All right, go ahead.
Do I say things first or roll first?
Say things first.
Okay. So I'm gonna like get in this guy's face, and by in this guy's face, I mean I'm an orc and he's a dwarf. I've got about 4 feet on him, maybe more. So I'm gonna like step right up to him, kind of look down at him, and go, "A fight, huh? All right, shall we?"
Okay, go ahead and roll then.
Bless you.
See, I would have said something stupider if I knew I was gonna roll a 5. Fuck me.
Off to a great start already.
Par for the course for me.
So this dwarf has a very, large grin. It takes up his face so much his glasses shift like a whole inch up the bridge of his nose, and he just goes, "All right, pick your opponent. I'll pick the bets."
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of like do one of those, like, and go, I pick you.
No, see, I don't do any fighting here, all right? I have to maintain this wonderful face for the ticket stand. No, if you want to get into the arena to see the fight as a team, then you're going to fight as a team. Do you get my drift? Listen, I'll sweeten the pot a little bit. I'll give 15 gold pieces to whichever one of you wins, and maybe I'll share a little extra information with you. Compadre to compadre.
Like, okay, let's go. Here we go.
Yeah.
About to clap some cheeks. Let's go.
Look, if it's really going to be that big of a deal, I'll make sure to cast Cure Wounds on you when you're done and send you into the arena fresh as a daisy, all right? I'm not going to let you kill each other.
All right, boys, bring it on. Beep boop.
Who you fighting, Drac? Are you fighting Zonk?
Yeah. I might as well get this over with quick.
So it's going to be a non-lethal hit battle, so you guys won't get to the point where your HP is below 0. You guys can call Uncle if you really want to end the fight, or we'll just, when you get to your last, 2-3 hit points, whatever. Just a roll for initiative to get started. I don't have all your sheets available in front of me, though, so you guys will have to be responsible for yielding when the time comes.
Fine.
Yep.
Okay.
I got an 11.
19.
Fuck.
No, it's the one good roll I'm going to have. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that didn't, okay, whatever.
It's okay.
All right. I don't even remember half my shit. I remember
You
that.
can just have a battle of fisticuffs if you really want to. I mean,
I'm a warforged of honor. I will not draw my weapon if my opponent chooses not to draw theirs.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right.
Is there like an unarmed skill or something
yeah.
that
So
goes along with this?
yeah. So unarmed strike is actually something that I believe is just like generic for any kind of fighter. So unarmed strike is, I can't see Twitch chat, so I'm sure people are like, this is what it is. I just don't remember. It is 1 plus your strength modifier, so it's not even really a dice roll. It's just a bludgeoning damage of 1 plus your strength modifier. If your modifier would bring you down below 1, I will let you guys have the 1.
Okay. So I will take a swing at Zonk. Try to hit him with a straight right. And I will tap my cunning action ability, which allows me to take a bonus action on each of my turns in combat. I will use this action to hold on, let me see here. Let me just get... Oh, well, that's not going to work. Never mind. I'm just going to take a swing at Zonk.
You want to roll for that?
Not really. It's a 3.
Not breaking through my 19 armor class, baby!
Wait, you have a 19 armor class?
Do you not remember this?
I remember he did like 220 damage in like a hit. I remember that.
19 armor class, baby!
I was never into this idea. I am fighting because I have to.
I'm a beefy motherfucker. Ooh, you better get those cheeks ready. Better tense up. I got a 2.
Yeah, this is gonna take a while, huh?
So you guys are starting this battle. This dwarf is standing here like all really excited, and you guys are starting to like not even seem to want to hit each other. Like that in SpongeBob when they have that fight, they're just like, yeah. So he's like excited, and then he's like, and then
imagine us going.
So you guys are having this really reluctant fight with each other, and all of a sudden you just hear a voice going, "What in good gracious is going on here?" And you will see the very familiar, portly Mayor Amos Dappermont heading your way. From what you remember, Mayor Amos, for, well, I guess technically the brief time that you saw him, he's the mayor of Mossbank. He's been the mayor of Mossbank, elected 6 terms in a row. He's had very, very little competition in those 6 years and is very well liked by the citizens of Mossbank. He's a portly human man. He has a bushy brown mustache, a little more so than last time you saw him. And you notice this time, as he speaks and smiles, he has 2 golden front teeth. Otherwise, he is very familiar to you, and he comes up and he goes, "What is the meaning? The fights are happening inside of the arena, Dave. I've told you this 100 times. Fights inside the arena only." The mayor looks at the 3 of you and goes, "My friends, you've come. You must have received my letter."
Yeah, we did, didn't we, Dave?
And the dwarf kind of just looks at the mayor, looks at the 3 of you, grunts, and then just begins to walk away back to the ticket stand. The mayor reaches to all 3 of you to like shake your hand, and he does that thing like last time where he took your hand and shook it just a little longer than maybe he should have.
I'm gonna say as Dave stalks away and as we're kind of making our introductions, like, might not be visible to everyone, but like Drac kind of like, oh, okay, like just lets a little bit of a like, oh, thank God I don't have to get my shit pushed in here, fucking breath.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The mayor definitely came like just in time to save the 3 of you, and he goes, I'm so sorry I did not catch you earlier. I've been so busy just trying to keep this battle going. It's much busier than it was last year after, well, you remember.
I shake while I'm shaking the mayor's hand. I notice his gold teeth, and I just say, "Nice grill."
And he kind of just beams a little bit wider, and he goes, "Well, I needed to treat myself to something nice after my victory for my 6th consecutive term," and he's just all like very happy about his teeth.
So after the compliment, and I schmooze him a little bit, I want to ask him what's up. So a situation report, but please.
Yes, absolutely. Squelk, right? It was Squelk. Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad that you've received my letter. It's quite the unfortunate situation. Let me explain it from the beginning. There's some grave robberies that are happening, but they're not just any grave robberies. They seem to be a little too specific for my liking. You see, a fortnight ago, there was a freak accident, and, well, we lost some very, very dear loved ones in our community. Ignacia and Zanwar, they were a woman and child that this town just couldn't afford to lose. They were always very nice and cared about everyone in the town, and they've left behind poor Esmeralda, Ignacia's partner and one of Zanwar's mothers, and she's just taken it absolutely horribly ever since. And 3 days ago, their graves were robbed. Now, not just any graves, of course. You see, these are a family that lives up in the Weddington Manor, and they're one of the most reputable families that we have. So, of course, not only were they buried in the mausoleum in tombs, but they were buried with some of their most prized possessions. There was some favorite family coins, a very gorgeous necklace, and a stuffed bear that Zanwar would carry around almost everywhere that they went. It seems that their bodies and these items are missing, and we haven't been able to track down who did this. The town has a couple of ideas, though. If you remember from last time, it does not take much for the citizens to start pointing fingers when things go wrong. We aren't sure exactly who it is, and I'm not sure I'm swayed one way or another, but the town thinks that it's either Buster, our grave digger and mausoleum keep, who used to be one of the town ruffians, but after last year he was so shaken up he decided that he couldn't live that kind of life anymore, so he decided to help out around the mausoleum. The town some of the town seems to think it's him, given his proximity to the crime itself, but well, a lot of people think it's Laszlo. Oh, she's the owner of the Abrac Apothecary that's in town. It's a little new. You probably didn't see it last time you were here.
Laszlo, you say?
Yes, she's quite the businesswoman, if I do say so myself. I only visit the apothecary when I absolutely need to.
Any connection to the victims? Laszlo, I mean.
That's a fair question.
I wouldn't say Laszlo necessarily has a connection to the victims, but you see, despite the fact that she owns her own business and it's, she seems to make coin, it's not nearly enough coin. There's a good chance that those who know her in town think that it's her because she needs the money more than, anything to do with the victims themselves.
What does she need money for?
Tieflings have a higher standard of life. Who knows what she's trying to buy to appease her own greed.
Oh.
I don't necessarily think a tiefling would go through the trouble of this by herself. I mean, I can't speak to Laszlo too much, but those tombs are heavy. To get the covers off, I mean, these large stone, slabs that were smashed to absolute pieces. It just seems like something that one person couldn't do on their own. If anything, Buster could have recruited his old friend Ralph, and they could have done it together. And just as a little note from last time, if you guys remember the two humans that you had a little scuffle with in front of the bank last time you were here, they were the ones who it was alluded that they may have been hired to do the murder from the last adventure.
You mean the ones that I stealthed and then walked up to them and asked what they were doing?
Right.
That was the stupidest thing I ever saw.
Yes, that encounter. That was Buster and Ralph.
Okay. I'm gonna. Well, okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please. That's as far as I can go.
No, that's fine. So I'm gonna turn to Zonk and Squick.
Milk.
Squelk.
Well, turn to Zonk and Squack, and kind of try to lower my voice and say, for a shopkeeper that's supposedly short on coin, she undercharged me for the potions, and that definitely was not.
Did she undercharge you?
She undercharged me the four tall boy potions at 500 gold apiece is 2,000 gold.
Oh, I
and
thought
she
you
charged-
said 3.
Nope.
I'm not retconning it. It's fine.
Oh.
Okay. That's fine.
That was my fault.
I was gonna say, none of
if
the
you let me
descriptions
finish my-
specifically, they're more expensive than normal.
The end of my sentence was going to be, and that definitely was not a hypothetical DM miscounting the money.
Oopsie.
Never mind.
Nope, that's fine.
Where Buster?
Oh, I think he and Ralph just entered the arena not a few minutes ago. They're probably in there now watching the event.
Although before we go, I turn over to Dak and Zonk, and I just want to ask, you think he know Betsy? Betsy was the one David knew, right?
Yeah,
That
his
said could
bookkeeper.
help. Okay.
Mhm.
Basically, I
most-
just want to ask my team if they think we should ask about Betsy to the mayor.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
David
After
mentioned, I'm saying this to the mayor. David mentioned that we should talk to Betsy for more information.
Oh,
Is it possible that she has some kind of knowledge that most people wouldn't have about the grave robbery?
I mean, well, I don't know if she could provide you a supreme amount of information, but Betsy has a connection that might be useful for you. She does a lot of her bookkeeping in the powder room. Yes, the powder room at Louis Vuitton. I don't go there myself very often. He kind of fixes his tie a little bit. I don't go there myself very often, but I've heard that's where Betsy likes to go to do bookkeeping. Yes.
The hell's a powder room?
Out of character. That's a very polite way of saying the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
You know when women say, "I'm going to go powder my nose."
Oh, I've just never heard it referred to as the powder. I'm like, what the? Is this like the cocaine room? Like, what the hell?
the cocaine room.
I think that's where the story ends, guys.
Okay. Do you guys want to go talk to Buster first since we're already here?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was actually gonna say maybe we should go see Betsy first because Buster and Ralph, if they're in the arena watching, it's gonna be packed with people.
They're
Okay.
not going
So it's
anywhere.
gonna be hard to find him.
Well, yeah, it
Okay.
might be the best environment as well to
That's
start
fair. Okay.
questioning
Try
about
to shake someone down. Yeah.
what do you know, and everyone else is like, woo!
Right. You do know, however, just keep in mind from your conversation with the mayor that he did say that Buster does take care of the mausoleum and everything. So Buster does kind of spend a lot of time around there too. So if you do want to visit him, that might be a much quieter place.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
This mayor character, he's kind of portly, right?
Yes.
He's a large boy. Okay.
Big boy.
Why?
Don't worry about it.
All right. So where are we headed next? Now you've gotten some kernels of information.
Louis Vuitton.
To the cocaine room in the Louis Vuitton luxury
Yeah,
suite.
let's do.
All
It's
right.
a perfect rich person activity.
I'm just gonna put in my notes
Absolutely.
to cocaine.
This would be an opportunistic time for us to take a 5-minute break.
Good,
If
I
that's
need
all right
water.
with you guys? Great.
Yes.
Let's take a 5-minute, Jess. If you could set us up for a BRB and chat, we will be back in about 5 to 7 minutes. So the three of you are making your way to this new kind of luxury store that you definitely did not see in Mossbank before. It's in kind of the wealthier section of town. It is called Louis Vuitton, and upon walking in, you are able to notice that it does, in fact, specialize in selling premium batons. The shop itself is encased in yellow and brown tones. It has a few items to browse through. It seems as though there's only one of everything kind of on display in display cases that are not easy to get to. There's a till in the middle of the shop,
What?
and in the back there's a till in the middle of the shop, so like the register.
Okay.
And there's a closed door in the back corner with an elegantly printed sign that says "Powder Room closed for restorations." The three of you walk in, and I assume you're still probably in like your adventuring gear.
Yep.
Oh, so as we're maybe walking in the door, or maybe a little before that, I'm just gonna turn to Squelk. Okay, tap him on the shoulder, and then when he looks over at you're muted, by the way. When he looks over at me, like I'll flash him like a smile, and I have a gold piece in between, like in my lower lip, so it looks like I have gold teeth, and I have like my arms like puffed out, like I'm the portly mayor walking around.
Not good class. Swanky moves.
Swanky. I love this kid. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
That's such an asshole thing to do. Like, what?
You know you're dealing. I've been this character for a session and a half. You should know by now.
Fuck, man.
Are you using this as an actual disguise? Should I have you roll for this?
I just wanted to make Squack laugh.
Okay.
Because he seemed to enjoy the gold teeth when we met Amos.
Okay.
So
No, fair enough. So the three of you walk in, Drac doing this obvious impression of Amos, and you are greeted as you walk in the door by this stocky, middle-aged human male. He's got salt and pepper hair. He has this absolutely wonderfully groomed mustache that covers his lip like a caterpillar. He is wearing a freshly tailored suit and a bow tie. He sees the three of you come in, straightens the bow tie a bit, and then his face falls and goes, "Hello, adventurers. Welcome to Louis Vuitton, the luxury baton store."
Man, you'd usually think that employees would hide some of their disgust when talking with potential customers, but I guess they don't teach that here.
You would think that you would hide some of the dirt that's on your clothing before you come in, but I assume they don't teach you manners out on the road.
I'm gonna get right in this guy's face, because that's really uncalled for, and I'm gonna get right in his face, like, nose to nose, and just say, what do I want to say? I'll have to think about keeping clean next time I save a family from a group of monsters.
Right. And he turns and kind of heads back to his till, and he goes, "Feel free to browse, but don't stink up my shop too much." And you notice as he walks back to the till, there is a nameplate where he returns back to the register, and it does in fact say Mr. Louis Vuitton.
The Louis Vuitton himself.
Quick question, DM. If I were to do something that required a dexterity check, why?
Is that the question?
No. Hold on. Why is my... Oh, I don't know that this is right. Oh, boy. If I were to do something that required a dexterity check, but I was also proficient in that, the item required for that dexterity check, would I get my dex modifier and my proficiency modifier? Or do they get lumped into, since they're kind of one and the same?
Are you doing a skill check?
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you doing? Let's walk through this.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I want
Yes.
to make sure.
If you are going, if you are
the
going
team's
to,
done with this plan before we go for it.
yes, if you would like to make a skill check that is dexterity based, but also you have proficiency in, you would get both of those modifiers.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull Squelk and Zonk aside and say, so are we trying to get in that powder room?
Yes.
We gotta find Betsy, and that's where we're told she is.
Okay. How many shopkeepers are in the store?
Including the man himself,
Yes.
there are 2 others. So I will say there are 3.
That's that deep 6 is my plan. So
I can cause a distraction if you need it.
that was gonna be my plan, but if there's 3 shopkeepers, then again, your distraction might be better than mine.
What is the most expensive thing in the store, and how much is it worth?
There is a there is a diamond crusted case for one of the batons that is lined with a supple lavender velvet on the inside, and I am going to just completely off the top of my head say that it's going to cost you probably around 20,000 gold pieces.
I'm not breaking that. Is there something within my 5,000 gold price range?
A pen, maybe? No. You're at a Louis Vuitton. Come on
Okay.
now.
Zach. Sorry. Zonk, you're large.
I am.
Stand in front of me
Okay.
while
Wait,
I pick the lock on the display case.
I have a question, Steve. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's
just wanted
fine.
to ask, am I allowed? So I have a spell that causes uncontrollable laughter. Can I just like shoot that and make him go, "Ha!" And then we just? Is that like a thing we can do? Is that allowed?
Fucking find out, Brian.
Laughter.
It's called oh my god, I can't read my handwriting. Some kind of hideous laughter. I can't read the first word, but it makes them go ha 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 if it's successful. And I don't know if that's a thing we can do to distract.
I like that a lot. I think that's better than what I had.
Go for it. What do we need to do to make that happen, Brian?
Make sure you
Come on, I have to bring up a spell.
If
I have
he
to bring up
can't
a page
stop laughing,
now. I'm so sorry. Wait, what's the D&D page? Oh god, I wasn't prepared.
No, you're okay. I'll try to bring it up too because I don't remember it offhand.
make sure when you cast it, you cast it on the owner. Not just because I want to see him suffer, but because if he's uncontrollably laughing and like to the point where it's a concern because he can't stop, it'll attract everyone else's attention because he's
That's
Mr.
true.
Big Shot asshole.
Yes.
Okay, so a
That's
creature
fair.
of your choice that you can see within a range, which is 30 feet, perceives everything as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand.
It's up to you guys. I'm game if you want me to try it.
I have a little addendum that I can tack onto that might give us a hand. So I think we
so
go with that.
I'm
Okay.
going to say yes, but I'm going to say that you need to roll with disadvantage.
Okay, that's fine.
He's a dour fellow.
How does
Yes.
that work? How do I roll
He just
disadvantage?
So
deterred, that's
you
all.
roll your d20 twice, and you will take the lower of the 2 numbers.
Okay. This one, the 20? No. Oh god. Oh lord, I'm unprepared. Found it. Okay. Oh god. Oh my god.
You hit a 20. Please tell me you just hit a 20.
I think he
No,
just
you hit a 1.
I hit a 1. I hit a
okay.
1.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
This is
I don't think not even a
this
point
is
in
on
rolling
brand.
again.
So not only does it not affect Mr. Louis Vuitton himself, the man with absolutely no humor whatsoever, his hatred for jokes is so strong that the curse bounces off of him and back onto you.
Oh,
Wait, so I got the giggles?
You are
Fuck
now
me.
inflicted with your own giggles. For I believe the duration is up to a minute. And technically this spell is supposed to also involve you having concentration.
Damn,
I'm gonna
okay.
choose to ignore that for this time, and just say that you will have the giggles until you leave this building.
I'm gonna look down at Squelch, just like,
You're muted, Brian.
okay, what you want to do, Drac?
Sorry, my mom came in.
Um,
Can I have the giggles and be a distraction until like they can sneak in while they're dealing with me giggling?
Well, I mean, everyone in the store is definitely looking at you and like giving you all these weird looks. So I would say yes, you are a very distracting presence right now.
So I'm gonna stick a coin in my mouth and give Squack a gentle shove out into like away from us, and then do my mayor pose.
Yeah.
Exacerbated.
Ready?
And that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, he's on
gonna
his ass,
die.
like literally, like LMAO. This
Yeah.
Kenku, yeah.
fucking hitting him with the Lamau, and then I'll tap Zonk and say, "Come on, we gotta go."
You got it. I follow you.
all right.
Or
Is
we'll
this
stay in front of you?
powder room locked?
Yes.
All right. Well, one of us is a rogue.
I'm like the farthest thing from a rogue.
It is me. I'm the rogue.
I
So to pick a lock
no way.
would be a sleight of hand, and also I'm proficient in my thieves tools, so I'm gonna get my proficiency bonus on top of my +4 sleight of hand. So it's gonna be a little hard for me to fuck this up, but
What
Oh,
was
no.
happening?
Oh my god!
Hey,
I'm to play the best fucking D&D of my life. So that's a 27 on the lockpick.
I'm glad you didn't do that earlier when we were fighting. That would have been embarrassing for me.
All right. Well, you walk up to the door and you successfully. It almost seems like you lockpick it so well that as soon as you like touch the doorknob, it just opens. It's just absolutely ready to just take you guys in. And all of a sudden, this powder room under construction, you now see before you Club Fae. Club Fae is one of Mossbank's most kept secrets. Its membership is technically only available to the wealthiest citizens, which you can tell just by looking at the opulence in the room. You're also able to notice, based on its layout, it's a speakeasy, actually, that happens kind of in this little back room down a couple of stairs from the Louis Vuitton building.
That's fun.
It's a dimly lit, so it's mostly just kind of like candlelight and kind of like little bits of fey light. It's decorated with blues, golds, there's abstract paintings all along the walls, and you are hit immediately with the smell of ripe peaches. It's just this absolutely fabulous room. You can see why it is only reserved for like the top 1%. There's a large bar off to one side, and there's many booths that are spread around the room. It's a fairly quiet room. It's not like a big, rowdy kind of bar. It's very much, reserved. There are people that are, laughing rather quietly and having conversations at more whispered tones. There's a small room in the back of the bar with a table and a couple of chairs. And do either of the two of you want to make a really quick intelligence check while you're here?
Sure.
Oh, but I will.
I didn't think
I'm
I was
still
gonna
giggling,
miss.
right?
You are still giggling, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Did you come down with them, or are you continuing to distract the
I'm
shop?
just a distraction.
I
I'm
think
just a giggle
probably
man.
a
I just wanted to
distraction.
make sure I was keeping updated with what's going on, so I'm just
Yes.
basically out of this scene.
Mhm.
Okay.
I never thought I'd write the sentence "reeks of peach" today, but here I am. I got a 14 on the intelligence.
7.
Oh, I got a +1, so it's a 15.
Nice.
Okay. So, you guys enter the room, and Zach, you happen to just like as you're kind of looking around, one of the little like tinkling kind of lights catches on something on the floor, and you notice that there is a key on the floor, and there's a little tag on the key, and on one side it says "Humbuddy," and on the other side it says number 9.
I'm gonna pick it up and take it with me.
Sure, add that to your inventory.
can see.
All right, so you guys enter, and you know when you enter like nicer kind of restaurants or any restaurant, and there's that little podium and somebody stands at the podium. So you are at that podium, and there is a lanky fairy male that is standing there looking at you. Kind of presents a little bit more as a half elf, so definitely has elf characteristics, but is a little more kind of human sized. Steve, you'll really appreciate this. He wears a dark, stunning fedora and a three-piece suit that is entirely a charcoal suit with a crisp white shirt underneath. He has this very toothy kind of grin, a little feral, one might say, and dark coiled hair that rests just below his pointed ears. And he greets you and says, welcome to Club Fae. What kind of entertainment can we provide for you tonight?
I'm going to put on my most hoity-toity accent possible, and because we're in full adventurer gear, I'm sure they don't have a lot of adventurers coming in here. And I'm going to like stand up straighter and be like, "We are guests of Mr. Vuitton. He told you to show us around and what pleasures you may have for us."
He looks the two of you up and down, and he goes, or he looks at the two of you. He looks to the stairs, and he goes, and the source of the laughter, that has nothing to do with you? Nothing at all?
There was some gross bird person out in the lobby who just started cackling.
You're still muted, Brian. Oh, okay.
I don't have a part here because I'm still giggling.
No, I just saw you say something, and I was like, I didn't hear what it is.
He's just miming his giggling.
Okay, all right.
So imagining we're hearing it like...
This. I mean, he's a Kenku. It's literally just like listening to a crow laughing, if you can imagine what that sounds like.
Oh, God.
Well, what would two adventurers such as yourselves, if brought down by Mr. Baton himself, need from such a place as Club Fae? Are you here to quench a thirst, perhaps?
I'm trying to think. He told us that you would show us around and what different wares you may have and let us choose from the litter.
Something a little bit dark seems to pass over the eyes of this half-elf male. He goes, but of course, my name is Larry Fay. I am the owner of this establishment. I will show you a few of my wares. He begins to walk away, and he turns around and he goes, should you have the coin?
Oh, we have the coin.
He brings you over to the bar to kind of look at what's going on. There's a bartender who is wearing kind of the same like three-piece suit, but without the jacket. Sitting there just kind of cleaning the glasses a little bit. Most of the occupants that are here are in like nice kind of, cocktail dress, evening gown, suited up kind of thing. So everyone here looks very nice. And a few of them kind of give you strange looks as you walk by as they take in what you're wearing. And Larry says, well, I would like to share a small drink with the two of you, just as a welcome to the club for the first time. And perhaps instead of coin, you could exchange with me a little tale, perhaps, of your adventures, of your visit to Mossbank. And he pours each of you just like a small glass of like, champagne, nothing like super, super fancy, but just a little something to kind of wet your whistles a little bit. And he slides the glasses over to you and goes, what brings you into such a fine city as ours?
How do I... trying to think of how I don't absolutely blow the assumed cover that we're guests of Mr. Vuitton. Well, we've heard that there is a big festival going on, and we were hoping to partake in a little bit of the battles and enjoy ourselves around the town.
Can you roll me a deception check, please?
Oh shit!
All right.
Come on, baby. This is my time to shine. 17. Let's fucking go.
Well, if you're looking to perhaps partake, perhaps just spectate the Battle of the Barbarians in the arena,
Oh.
I would be more than happy to, well, I have a traveling wizard here who is providing many different services during this battle, and maybe he can chat with you a little bit and take you to the arena himself. I'm sure he would love to step away from his current duties and take a little breath of fresh air. Would you be interested?
Very much so. Please lead the way.
So Larry kind of makes a motion with his hand, and there is a bouncer at the door to the small room. He opens the door, says something into it, and then not a few moments later, out comes this very much, I mean, in any standard terms, a very much attractive middle-aged human. He wears a worn deep green tunic. He has leggings to match. He has shoulder-length hair that is a bright and brilliant brown, even in the dimness of the speakeasy. And it seems to, if you remember from our Pokemon campaign, flows with a mysterious wind to it. He is most notably wearing an amulet that seems to give off this kind of aura of protection and opulence. And Larry says, I would like you to meet a wonderful friend of mine. This is Pablo Valesari. He's our traveling wizard that is here with us for a short time in Mossbank.
Really thought his name was going to be Lance.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Atticus.
Or
Another game.
And Pablo looks to the three of you, and he presents a hand to shake, and he goes, adventurers. You must be here or you must be here for some of my services. I'm a little bit busy to offer anything that needs any immediate attention, but I am more than happy to speak with you.
Do tell, dear wizard. What sort of services do you provide?
Just some of the general assortment, curing ailments, giving blessings. I'm currently trying to deal with the aftermath of a rather tragic event that happened in this town, in the past few days, and oh my, I'll tell you, it's been taking quite a lot of energy out of me.
Wait, am I allowed to talk now? Am I still giggling? I'm sorry.
You're still giggling. Are you still upstairs in the shop, or are you hanging out with
Stacy? I'll just do a background.
Okay. I mean, if you want to come down at any point, you can. Please feel free. But I would say you're still trying to distract.
I think if I have so many giggles, I'm worthless downstairs anyways. So just.
I was just gonna say, I don't know how he'd get in without being noticed at this point.
That's what I'm saying.
Your minute is probably going to be over very soon, so I would say that from this point forward, if you do want to jump in, your giggles will be dying down.
Okay, sounds good.
I believe I heard about the accident that happened recently, but it was my understanding that the people involved died. What do you mean you've been doing tired from work? What did he say? Something like exhausted from working it. Like, was I misinformed?
No, it's absolutely terrible. I mean, could you imagine? This woman loses her partner and her child in a single accident, and well, now she's left to deal with an estate and a wealthy name and everything all on her own. And then there's these grave robberies. I've been doing everything I can to try to find and and salvage the bodies and the tombs themselves. It's exhausting trying to put it all back together, but I just want to do right by Esmeralda. The poor thing doesn't deserve any more heartbreak than what's been happening to her lately.
Yes, it truly is a tragedy to see this happen. Sorry, I'm really writing notes.
Nope, you're good.
Okay. Trying to think, because I'm confused because the things that were stolen were the valuables, but if they were just after money, why'd they take the bear?
Who really knows? It's a wealthy family. Could have been a highly sought after a bear. You never know. I mean, you've seen what's upstairs. Their cases have velvet that's more expensive than my entire house.
That is true. God, I don't know. Steve, help me. I don't know. I don't know what to
Dude,
ask.
I don't know that you want Drax help here. Maybe we head to the arena. I don't know. Like I'm so awful at like detective type shit. Like I just no, I just cannot put the pieces together in my brain. Like
He said he was putting things back together. Do you know how the tombstone was broken? I was told that, like, didn't they say the door was like exploded or something? Shit, I didn't write it down. Yeah, was there any evidence of how the tombs were broken into? From my understanding, they were like they were pretty solidly contained, secured.
Why would I know something like that? I'm here for, to offer different kind of services. I don't have much of a need at the mausoleum for people that are already dead. I was here originally for the battle, and now I'm here for Esmeralda.
I mean, if you were here for Esmeralda, wouldn't you be looking into this for her? Don't you want to try and figure out as much information as to what happened?
Well, I'm not going to dirty my hands in an old mausoleum. My services are more about, healing and for the spirit. There's nothing I can do much for the physical world.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I want to go see what's in room 9 at the Hum Buddy too.
I do too.
You want to split?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else to ask here. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that we got in that this was even happening. Like what? I think my final question would be: do you know where Betsy Green is?
You say this name, and all of a sudden, Larry,
Yeah.
who's still been watching you from behind the bar, kind of snips in and goes, I'm getting a little uncomfortable with some of the questions that you're asking in my establishment. I would recommend maybe you take a little bit of fresh air yourselves. And he begins to motion you back towards the door to lead you up to Louis Vuitton's and out. And he goes, if you need anything else, I would suggest maybe staying in town and not here. And he starts to get a little bit curt with you, and he starts to rush you out the door.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
However,
boy.
almost, hold on, I lost my page. As you're leaving, he does kind of like whisper into your ears a little bit.
The Larry or the wizard?
Larry, the wizard stayed behind. Larry's bringing you to the door, and
Okay.
he just goes, Pablo's been hanging around my establishment even before the grave robberies happened. He stays in the back room primarily. I just be careful around these parts, all right? Don't go sniffing your noses where they don't belong. And then he pushes you out the door.
Okay, so when we get out the door back into
Louis Vuitton.
Mhm.
I'm gonna presumably look across the room and see Squelk. And
What am I doing?
still giggling? Question mark. And I'll say kind of loud, maybe a little too loudly. This guy still. Hold on, Mr. Baton. Let me take care of this for you. And then I'll walk over to Squelk, grab him, and drag him out the door.
I'm giggling as I exit the door.
As we're walking out, I'm gonna look back, look Mr. Baton dead in the eye, and then you know how athletes, when they have like dirt on their cleats, they'll like kick their toes on the ground to get the dirt off. I will make a big showing of kicking the dirt off the bottom of my
Ooh.
feet before walking out.
Damn.
I
Love
don't
that.
like him.
Wait, I'm not like some subhuman.
Yeah, so it definitely, like, as you guys are leaving, you know, he starts shouting and whatever. And you guys aren't hearing this now. You're outside of the building. And it is very clear that you will not be welcomed back through these doors anytime soon. But as you leave the building, Squelk, your magic has now, you know, for this spell has depleted, that you are no longer suffering from these giggles.
I wipe a tear from my eye. Oh, that was good one.
I'll look at him and go, "Hey, great job. That was really excellent."
I give him the side eye and a pat on the back, and I say, "Nice grill," as a reference to.
Hey, my man.
That was pretty good. So you guys now leave with the knowledge that Pablo, the traveling visitor, is here mostly for the Battle of the Barbarians, but is now offering most of his services to help Esmeralda, who is the next of kin, essentially, for the deceased. You are leaving with a room key for room 9 at the Humbuddy Inn, and you are leaving with a slightly bad reputation in the richer part of the town.
Fuck him.
Honestly, not bad considering how we entered.
Yeah.
Fucking. So.
Quick question: when did the Battle of the Barbarians start?
Probably early this morning, as soon as people were awake to start fighting.
Oh, so it started today.
I would assume it started today, yes.
Okay.
Did we real quick? I just want to double check since I was upstairs giggling. Did you guys determine if we're going to the Humdinger, or are we going elsewhere?
I would think the inn is our next destination.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss
That's
something.
our best lead.
Mm.
Along those lines.
I'm assuming we're filling in Squelk on what happened downstairs. Yeah.
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 So maybe I just missed this earlier, like during the introduction and all that. Do we know what happened to the 2 people that are dead? Like, how did they die? It was an accident, but like...
It was mentioned it was a freak accident. That is all you were told.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, you said we were told it was an accident, right?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yep, the mayor, I believe the mayor mentioned it was either in the letter or in the verbal explanation. I don't remember.
Okay,
where I said
gotcha. Probably should have asked if there was an actual noticeable cause.
I don't know
Anyways,
about you guys, but my 2 biggest questions aside from that right now is why I'm still wondering like why they took the bear. There's no way that the bear is that valuable. There's something with the bear. And then where the hell is Betsy? Like what? Where's Betsy at?
So are we going to the Humbuddy then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the humbug.
I would not like any reaction to this, but I will just throw it out there. I'm feeling along the lines of the bear, Zach. I agree with you. I think that is weird. Either it's got something in it, like it's like the cover. There's like a diamond in it or whatever, or they're not actually dead, and so they had to fake their deaths for some reason, and then got everything back from the tomb to reclaim it for themselves. I don't want any reaction to that. I'm just submitting my guess now.
Oh, they might have taken that weird poison that Romeo and Juliet took to make themselves look dead.
There you go.
Romeo and Juliet. Oh, right. Okay. I was like, wait, my brain.
Yes, so the inn.
So you you arrive to the Humbuddy Inn Tavern. It's a small inn and tavern that you remember from last time that you were here. It has about 10 guest rooms. It's not very large. Only a couple of the rooms are actually rented, and they're mostly rented by people participating in the battle. The bar area, as always, when you come here, is crowded, but it's still very homey. It never feels like rowdy and wild. It just feels very much like family convening in this very large area all of the time. There's a few rows of long tables and the bar itself. And this time, because of everything going on, there's actually a couple of small fire pits outside of the building. There's some tree stumps used for seating, so people are milling about both inside and outside, enjoying the company and brews of the tavern. And of course, as soon as you enter the Humbuddy, you are greeted by this big, huge, just waving of arms. As I know I say the name incorrectly, but Bonavie, the middle-aged elf, who is the tavern owner. Her hair is still, cropped and light. She wears an apron, a little bit newer and fresher than the one she was in last time, but still says her iconic catchphrase, "Humbuddy loves you."
Go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say I walk up to her and I wink and I say, "Hey, baby, how business?"
All right.
I never thought I would see the three of you again. What in God's name are you doing here in the Humbuddy Tavern of all places? Oh, I on the house here. I made a specialty brew just for the festival this year. I call it the Barbarian Streisand. And she gives you a little bit of a grin and slides you each a tankard full of ale.
I ain't never saying no to that.
I guess I take a sip and I just say, "Mayor needs us again."
Ah, you here for those grave robberies? I knew he'd call in somebody like you to come and look into this. I absolutely love when the three of you come in. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, here's the situation. She puts her elbows on the table, and you remember very well that Bonavie is kind of the town gossip in a sense. It's presumed by a lot of the citizens. She keeps the tavern open just to be filled in on all of the gossip going on, and she's very excited to tell anybody that walks in what's happening. So she kind of, gets herself all prepped here, and she goes, "Look, do you remember those absolute ruffians from last year, Buster and Ralph? They were going around causing all kind of ruckus, doing all sorts of skeezy things. Anyway, I'm almost positive it had to have been them. I don't believe it for a second that they're trying to turn their lives around. I mean, one of them's a grave digger up at the mausoleum. I don't buy that for a second. And Ralphie, boy, he just decided recently that all of a sudden that everything he was doing was just awful and he wanted to change his ways. Come on, I don't believe it for a minute. I mean, the mausoleum, the grave robberies, it all just kind of matches up. I don't think it's a coincidence at all,
Well, you know what they say, innocent until proven guilty.
Well, ain't that the absolute truth? I've been in this town long enough. I know some of these people, and I'll tell you what, I don't like those two. Ugh, almost as much as I don't like. And then she kind of motions a thumb to one of the rooms, and very, very faintly, you think you hear something coming from one of the rooms, and she goes, "That."
We have a key
The
to one of these
noise?
rooms, right?
We do.
I just
Yeah,
want to make sure I
so-
remembered that correctly.
I was going to ask, do we want to play it as we're returning the key and try to find out who it belongs to? Or do we want to try and investigate the room? Because we know
I thought we knew who it belonged to. Oh, you mean who it was in, who rented the room at the
who
time?
rented the
Okay,
room,
I was
who the
like, we know
key-
it's Bonavie's.
Mm.
Okay, I got you now.
Yeah, so I was
Um,
thinking we could either do it that way where we go in and investigate the room because we
I
know
think
no one can get in there.
I think we go into the room
Or-
first.
to have. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, and then maybe return the key afterwards.
I think there's potentially a good benefit to us go because we can still play the good guy after if she doesn't know we slinked off to the room and be like, oh, we happen to find this. If we don't find anything.
Would it be
Yes.
fitting for your boy to cause a distraction? Not like the giggle, but maybe like engage
Hey,
Bonavi in like a conversation while
downstairs, man.
you two yoink off to go check out the room.
Wait, does Bonavi think that did she think me and Zonk were, or is that me and
Oh, who was it?
were doing that?
I think it was you and Zonk.
Oh, perfect.
No.
Okay.
Was
Wait,
it?
I think
Yeah.
so. I'm pretty sure.
Who
Yeah,
was- who
because
was-
I remember
Zach's
Zach
got
came
the notes
downstairs
up.
last time and was
I'm
like,
looking.
"Don't ever make me do that again."
I forgot that when we first met him, I named him in my notes Mr. Anus Dapper.
Sick.
Oh fuck.
oh man.
He angry.
Grim.
Was I drinking when we did this the first time? The first one?
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
These notes are something. Oh my god, he's Cobblepot's prime.
Yes.
Cobblepot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Did we talk to? Here we go. Droink Tem. Ugh.
Trying to remember like exactly what the situation was that caused
Well,
that.
Well, it was because we were trying to rent a room and we wanted to.
Yes, it was you two because
Okay,
I was
yeah,
like, oh, my
yes.
friends want to go have the coitus.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
room
I
or
was gonna
whatever.
say, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
Steve,
So-
you also had your character go up to somebody at the bar and went, "Are you the one who had coitus with the dead woman?"
yep.
Yes,
yes,
that's what it was.
how-
That's what it was.
So yeah, so anyway, Bonavi is mentioning how
Oh my
she dislikes Buster and Ralph just as much as she dislikes whatever she's just motioned to in one of the rooms behind her.
She doesn't like loud noises.
Are you going for a distraction there, Draft?
Oh, I will. Is she behind the bar?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I have an idea. What
Ask
if we?
her out.
we're gonna need a place to stay. I'm assuming we're not staying. We're staying here multiple days. We should try and rent a room, and then
See,
presumably go up to our room.
This is why you're the smart one in the party.
But if we already have the key,
Well,
wouldn't it be
I'm the smart
suspicious
one.
that we're asking to rent a room we have a key for?
Yeah, but she doesn't
I
know.
wish
She doesn't
we
know
had
we
a
have a
key.
key.
Well, she has to give us the key, presumably, to get
Yeah,
that
so
room.
she gives
but
us
she
the key
doesn't-
to like room
Oh,
one.
you mean we go
and
for
then
a
we
different
go up
room?
there and yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you
Yeah.
meant we were gonna ask for the key for the room we have the key for. I was like, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Alright, we have this key for room 9. Can you
Can
give us
you
the
stay
key for room 9?
All right, so you guys are gonna ask for a room.
Yep, let's rent a room.
Cool. Well, I'm more than happy. Look, I got the space if you guys need a room. I know how the three of you operate.
Believe
But
me, don't.
she goes, look, I'll rent you the room for free if you can get that gosh darn noise in room 9 to shut the hell up. They've been going on for about 3 days. I'm getting sick of it.
And they must
You
be
know what?
very proud of
I can
themselves.
do that.
Agreeable.
And she goes, unfortunately, I lost the key for the room. I don't know what happened to it. Whoever's been staying there, they lost one of my copies. So you're going to have to find your own way in.
I'm gonna very slowly reach into my bag and produce the key and just go, Shazam. There's the key.
Dude,
Did we want to reveal our ace?
that's what I'm saying, bro.
She's already telling us we can feel free to go up there to the room. So like,
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but
That's fair.
is
I
the
don't
noise coming from the room we have the key for?
she just said it was. She said it was room 9.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
Yeah, I mean, if she
Oh,
hadn't
okay.
mentioned it or like said it was
Okay,
the room,
alright.
I wouldn't have mentioned the key. But she
Alright,
basically
alright.
just gave us permission anyway.
Okay.
That's fair.
I'm
Alright.
just gonna produce the key. I just so happened to recently find the key.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
And she's just going to kind of go, oh, well, there it is. Have that. And
Right.
and then she kind of goes back to like, some of her patrons. She's just, kind of, it seems that her biggest priority is just getting her bar and tavern back in order, and this noise in this room is not accomplishing that task. So she is more than happy to let you guys handle that.
All right, to room 9
Perfect.
we go.
So when we get to room 9, what exactly is the noise?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here in this room. So you approach this noise, and the closer you get to it, the more apparent is that it's this kind of a moaning noise. It's this whiny kind of consistent, whatever.
That checks out.
And the room itself, as you enter, it's a total mess. It has this awful pungent odor. There's scratch marks on the wall. There's dirt everywhere, like all over the mattress, all over the floors. The bed sheets have actually been taken off of the bed and used to cover the windows, kind of like makeshift curtains. There's dirty handprints on this bed sheet and the window panes themselves. I mean, it's an absolute disaster in here. There's a small desk in the corner. You guys kind of remember these rooms. There's a small little desk in the corner, but you notice there's a locked business ledger that's sitting on the top. And on the cover is an hourglass, kind of imbued like on the cover of the book itself. And the what would be the sand of the hourglass is kind of like this dull kind of an orange color.
So is it a drawing of an hourglass or a literal hourglass?
It's a drawing of an hourglass.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had that in my head.
Where's the noise
kind of
coming
like
from?
stamping, like a book stamping.
In the room.
Are we about to have another fight in the tavern? Because I'm gonna feel really bad.
Yeah, for real.
We fought in the tavern a year ago. We're back again, about to have another brawl. Yeah, where's the moaning coming from?
I look under the bed.
You aren't able to find actual source of the moaning, and even as you come into the room, it still is kind of like a distant moaning, and it's almost kind of like the memory of something. Like you're hearing it, but there's nothing actually there. And you can hear it the loudest the closer you approach the book.
I don't like that.
Okay. Can I open the book?
Yeah, I'm actually loath to even touch the book. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Squelk, are you gonna pick up the book?
I mean, I don't know if it's gonna have recourse for that. If they don't want me to, I'd pick up the book. I'm okay with
Go
Squelk
for it.
being
I'm
curious.
not
All
gonna
right.
touch it.
All right. I will.
You said
pick
it
up
was
the book.
locked, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Well,
And I'll pick
I'm
up
more
the book.
mean. I'm loath to touch it because it sounds like it might be like something cursed. Like you touch this,
Oh, for sure.
fuck
Yeah.
up your soul.
Definitely.
So-
Okay. I already am indebted to a great one god, so I'm fine.
Right. So as soon as you pick up this book, Brian, the hourglass, kind of that's like stamped or whatever onto the cover, starts to blink a brighter orange.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
And you notice that the longer you hold it, it looks like the sand of the hourglass starts to move.
Oh boy. And it's locked, so I can't open it.
I am gonna draw my weapon.
How long do you hold this book for? Do you wait until the sand empties?
Oh god, that's a tough.
Asked a question, and Admiral Akbar is in the back of your brain going,
It's a trap.
"It's a trap! It's a trap!" This is that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. I'm just so curious. Squelk is a curious little rascal. I hold it till it runs out.
So the sand runs out, the blinking increases the closer it gets to running out, and as soon as the last bit of the sand hits the bottom of the hourglass, you feel the spine of the ledger relax and the book opens.
Okay.
Oh, I don't like this.
I swear to God, if it starts speaking in some otherworldly language to me.
It doesn't start speaking, but your eyes are immediately drawn to the page that it opens on, and you see a couple of the most recent entries that were written into the ledger. You are able to read the following.
Okay.
Timmy, 1 copper piece and dandelion bouquet. Heel pet toad, hoppy humbuddy, dated 4 days ago. Louis Fay, 75 GP, gold pieces, minor ailment, Club Fay, dated 3 days ago. Esmeralda Weddington, 10,000 gold pieces, resurrection, Mossbank Memorial Hill, dated 3 days ago.
Okay.
Yvette Ital,
Fucking alive.
1,300 gold pieces, seance, Mossbank Memorial Hill, today's date.
So a necromancer of some kind? Goody.
It's 100% the wizard from Club Fey, and this is like his black book.
His trump
Team?
card.
Shall we?
Is there anything else that happens? Can I close the book? The spooky book? Can I
That
take
is
the book
a-
with me?
You want to?
I kind of want it.
Okay.
I don't want to touch it, but you can. Absolutely, we should take it. I don't want to touch it though.
All right, I take the book and I slap it in my pack.
Okay.
Are any of the items from what are their fucking names again?
The mausoleum.
The two people who were dead.
Right.
Are
The
any
bear,
of
the
those
necklace.
items
No,
around?
none of the items that were looted are in this area.
Okay. So we have to figure out. He's been staying in that room. I think we might need to go to Esmeralda then. Or should we tell the mayor?
The mayor kind of left it in your hands to figure it out, so it might not.
Yeah.
You might want to find all the.
Yeah, I
Are
don't
you
know
go
that
back
we
to-
need to tell anyone.
Okay.
We don't know who's in on this, and
Yeah.
if we tell people, there's a chance that it's going to get out, and maybe our mark is going to go into hiding.
Okay. I think we should go to Esmeralda because we're not getting back into Club Fay. There's no way
I agree.
Mr.
If you
Louis
breathe too
Bitch
close
Boy.
to Louis Vuitton, you're
Yeah, he's not letting us back in, and I don't want to go back in.
He's not letting us back in, but if this dude's a necromancer, we might not need to ask permission.
No, I know, but it's not him. It's the wizard we met is the one who resurrected them. So I'm thinking.
No, I know, but like,
No, I know, but I think if we're trying not to get anyone else involved, and we can't really get to the wizard, he's super concerned for Esmeralda because that was like his primary, I don't know, motivation or the thing he was talking about while we were there. So he's probably gonna go back to Esmeralda. Plus, I don't know how resurrections work, so she could be in danger. Like her family could have been brought back, but they might try to attack her or something. So she might be in danger.
okay. So you guys are gonna head to Esmeralda at the Weddington Manor.
Yeah, are you guys cool with that?
yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So as you guys are now leaving the Hum Buddy to head there, do any of you have a passive perception of 11 or higher?
A passive.
You said perception?
Yes. Yeah.
Which one? I'm sorry. Which one's perception?
Perception's based off of wisdom.
Wisdom.
What do you mean by passive perception?
Yeah.
I have a +6, I guess.
So essentially, passive perception, it's like your perception skill, like all those modifiers and everything. But
Cool.
your passive perception is just like something that you might notice just like in passing. It's not something you have to roll for. You just have to have a high enough number for the thing.
I don't. My wisdom is 0, so I don't even have a
I-
modifier for it.
How do I know what my passive is?
What is so? If you were to roll a perception check, what would your wisdom be?
My wisdom is a 14 base with a +3.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure how that stuff works.
No, you're totally fine. I'll just I'll just base it that way because I don't have all your sheets in front of me to like whatever. So for those of you who have like a high enough wisdom, like if you're at least an 11, you would be privy to a conversation that is happening in the bar as you're walking out. You can't identify exactly who's saying it, but you kind of hear this sniffling sound, this kind of femme sounding voice, and she wobbles. I just want to talk to Bobbert one last time, Bonavie. The seance is happening at Mossbank Memorial this evening, and I know I shouldn't mess with the dead, but The wizard said everything would be okay.
So I am privy to this?
Yes, you definitely hear this as you guys pass the bar to head out of the Humvee.
Okay. So I approach her,
Okay.
and I say, what's wrong?
Oh, well, my husband, Bobbert, he died a while ago, and I've just missed him so terribly. Well, this traveling wizard is here visiting and said that there was a chance he could perform a seance so that I could talk to my poor dear Bobbert just one more time, just to tell him goodbye. I have to be there in about an hour up at the memorial, and I'm nervous, but I just miss him so much.
Seance?
Oh, yes, a seance. It's a way to be able to communicate with the dead. It doesn't bring them back. It costs an arm and a leg, but, well, all the patrons of the club that I'm a part of, well, they keep raving about this wizard. Pablo, I think his name was, so I figured I'd give it a shot. My good friend Esmeralda recently hired him when she lost her family.
Who provides seance?
That
Pablo.
strange wizard fellow, Pablo, he's only been here for a little while, but everyone seems to enjoy him, and he knows how to communicate with the dead, so he says.
I huddle with the boys.
What an image that is! This orc
Plan?
rogue, this bird, this raven creature, and then a giant mech. Just like, all right, what are we doing?
On one. So I'm thinking we go talk to Esmeralda, and then maybe stake out this memorial.
Stake it out. I like that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
observe the seance.
Think
Like, can you use your stealth and just T-pose at them?
Yes.
I am not here.
Oh my god. All right. So you guys now exit the Humbuddy with this new kernel of information, and you head towards Weddington Manor. This is the manor I mentioned before that kind of seems just like this dark spot in the town. Probably just because it's surrounded by so much grief over the tragedy that's happened very recently. It's a gated home on the kind of like upper outskirts of town. The estate is surrounded by various fruit trees, and it has a small water fountain. So normally, when bad things aren't happening, it's a very pretty place. The home itself is made of brick, which is usually reserved for the wealthier sections of town.
Is there any water?
Yeah,
like
it's
or anything?
Yeah, I mean it's a little like the water fountain has like running water, but there's not
Is
like
it
any
deep?
bodies of.
Can I use my cloak of the manta ray to just sit in the water and breathe underwater?
It is not large enough for you to submerge yourself, but if you want to just sit in the water and flap your cape around, you're more than welcome.
Okay, well I'm a bird, so I'm gonna do that.
That's true. That's true. That checks out. Fruit trees. What kind of fruit trees? You said peaches. You said it smelled like peaches. What kind of fruit trees are there?
You are taking this a little bit too far. They're freaking apple trees.
Detective.
What kind of fruit tree?
I don't know, man. Apple trees. They're just fruit trees. They're not imperative. No pun intended.
How many peaches do you think it would take to make a room smell of peaches? They're probably using something.
Isn't the devil in the details, man? Isn't the seemingly inane shit usually what comes back to make sense later?
I guess. Oh shit! All right, to Esmeralda.
So you guys make your way very easily inside of the manor. I'm really sorry. I'm still getting over this cold.
You good?
You're making your way inside of the manor. It's easily accessible. You'll notice there are a lot of opulent features to it. There's portraits and paintings of the Weddington family through the generations. The house is laid out to have 2 bedrooms. There appears to be an office. a large den, a kitchen area. A lot of the surfaces here have a lot of dust and dander over them. They haven't been touched in a while. The one of the bedrooms and the office, kind of as you like walk around and take the space in, you'll notice that there's sheets covering the items and the furniture in these two rooms. And open and very easy for you to see is a second bedroom towards the back of the house, whatever. Has a large canopy bed, a wardrobe. There's a rug that takes up most of the floor, a small chest at the end of the bed, and a vanity desk. Could I have you all make a really quick insight check?
Real quick, did we just like walk into this lady's house and not like knock at the door or anything? We just kind of went in?
The Weddington Manor is generally open, yes. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Sorry, what was the check again? I was really confused by the fact we just
Insight?
kind of walked into this
Insight.
house. Gotcha.
How do we make an insight check?
That is a d20 plus your. Is it intelligence
Wisdom.
mod? Wisdom.
I got a
All
2.
right. Plus wisdom modifier?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I rolled a 13.
I got a 2. I don't notice shit.
I got a 3.
So, let's do it this way then. Brian, you are the first to enter this second bedroom, and you notice very, very obviously that there are signs of struggle in this room.
Okay.
The chest at the end of the bed is open and completely empty. The wardrobe, now that you can see it a little better, it has a door open, and it seems that a few garments have been taken off of their hangers and are now missing. The desk has its imagine one of those like desks that like you open it and then it becomes a table and then there's little cubbies inside, like old writers' desks. And you see that it's open, and sitting on the inside is a leather-bound diary that is opened as well.
Okay. Is anyone else in this room, or is it just me and like Drac and Zonk have not followed me?
Well, they may have followed you in, yes. But I would say that like as you're kind of looking around, taking in everything in the room, you definitely notice the shape of something on the bed.
On the bed? All right. So I approach the bed to figure out what it is and get a keen eye look on it, a bird's eye view.
Absolutely. Can you make me a medicine check, which is going to be yeah, it's based off your intelligence, so it's medicine plus intelligence, or intelligence plus
D20 plus the intelligence.
I have medicine as wisdom.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
Cool.
Surprise.
All right, we'll make a medicine check and whatever it says then.
So I just roll and add the wisdom modifier.
Yep.
Yepperino.
I rolled a 6.
Ah.
Well, I rolled a 3 plus a 3, so I got a 6.
Just glad we're not in combat.
So you can't tell. Well, you can tell that it is a deceased body. It's about as far as you can get right now, but you can't infer exactly what happened to it. Or should I say, what happened to her?
Okay, so I have a body in front of me and signs of a struggle. Boy, that's a lot. Could I go to the you said there's a wardrobe with the door open?
The wardrobe has a door open, the chest is open and empty, and the desk is also open with a small little leather-bound book inside. So yes, almost every piece of furniture in this room is open and easy.
All right, I want to go to the leather-bound books since I'm a book collector at this point, and see what that is.
You see a single entry on a page right in the middle, and it says, "I'd sell my soul 1,000 times. What a small price to pay to see them alive again." And then circled very, like, a couple of times, "Humbody in room 9."
Okay, so it's from room 9 again. Can I bring the book to the squad so they can read it too? I'm assuming at this point Squelk is the only one with knowledge of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
So I bring the book to. Go ahead.
do you want to keep reading the book? Like, are you
Oh,
showing
there's
them?
more.
Well,
I
I'm
thought
just
that.
no. I was just asking, did you want to keep looking at this book,
Yeah.
or just
Yeah.
get them
Yeah.
what they have?
Yes.
What you have? Okay. So quick flipping through, like as you're walking to your comrades, you kind of flip through a couple of more pages, and you're able to just infer a couple of things. You sense a little bit of jealousy and maybe some wariness against Laszlo, who you know is the owner of the Abrac Apothecary. It is mentioned that Laszlo and Ignacia actually used to date for a period of time before Esmeralda and Ignacia got together. You respect the fact, or you read that she respects the fact that so many of the women in her life are able to take charge of owning businesses or owning estates, and wants to be able to raise Zanwar to do the same. You can tell from other entries that Esmeralda was just an absolutely fun-loving kind of person, was just the light of anybody's room. And then you read, an entry about how sad she is about the freak accident. That entry was dated 14 days ago. The sadness of which of losing her family, in which the details are not disclosed.
Okay, so
it's weird that they
that's
write the
weird.
details.
It becomes a little bit apparent to you as well that it is Esmeralda that is deceased in the bed.
Oh, okay.
I figured.
Okay, so I'm just gonna bring the book to the boys at this point and be like, here.
We still haven't found any of the items that were taken from the grave in the house, right? Like as we've been walking around.
Right.
Does a seance require like material things? Isn't it like you like arrange it in like a pentagram, or am I thinking of something? I don't know occult shit, so like maybe Esmeralda robbed their graves to try and
Can you make me an Arcana check?
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Steve, what are you getting us into?
All I'm saying is maybe she stole her people's stuff in order to try to resurrect them. Like, if you have to like arrange shit to make a seance or a necromancy happen, like she might have
I see where you're coming from.
robbed their own graves.
Traded her soul for theirs.
Oh, that's a 19. Let's go.
So either just from like your character's history or whatever, like just in general that a seance typically consists of the person performing it has to salt the earth and has floating like small little votive candles arranged, like you said, into a very specific shape, and it does usually take items that belong to the deceased to bring them back.
Yeah.
All right, Steve. Golf clap.
Okay. I'd also like to examine the body.
Can you also make that medicine check?
Yeah, definitely. This isn't gonna go well, but
No,
you just rolled a 19.
nope, did not. That was a 5 minus 1 is 4.
Yeah, so you can't infer anything specific about this body. You just know that it's dead.
It's a body.
Right.
Just imagining you like moving us and being like, let me see if I can see like anything new about this body.
Yup, she
It's
dead.
definitely dead. I got you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Okay. So you said that there were personal items missing. There were clothes missing. I'm just trying to figure out the fact of whether they're completely resurrected and conscious of themselves, or are they resurrected, but like they're not themselves? Like, is it possible that we're looking at just like feral zombies right now?
That's a good question.
But there's clothes and personal items missing, and we still haven't found the valuables. So I'm leaning towards they are alive, and I'm almost wondering if maybe Esmeralda was responsible for the accident,
Ooh.
and that
Okay.
they might have killed her to get out of Dodge.
We can definitely keep looking around and shit, but I definitely think we should stake out this seance that's supposedly happening. Like, I think that's our next move.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're approaching the climaxy end point. So can I request a pee break, please?
Yes, let's take another 5-minute break before
I really
we
have to pee.
Yep,
All
Jess,
right.
can you set us up for that?
Excuse me, Brian.
All right. Having previously discussed this, before we make any other decisions, I want to cast Detect Thoughts. What do I do for that?
You don't have to do anything. You are not going to be able to detect any other thoughts in this house. There is
Okay.
no one else here capable of sentient
It was
thought.
worth a shot.
Yes. I applaud your efforts.
Thank you, golf clap.
All right, guys, what's our next step? Are we staking out the seance?
Big stakeout. Yep.
So you guys are going to start making your way to Mossbank Memorial Hill. While it is a relatively small graveyard, there is a clear distinction between the modest and the wealthy grave sites. The southern plots, were kind of like where you come in from, are very simple headstones, whereas when you get further up into the northern plots, that's where you find the mausoleums, there's grave benches, extravagantly carved tombstones. One of them is even, God, I always say this wrong too. I can't pronounce anything correctly. An Asimir statue, which are like the angelic kind of humanoid Greek race of the D&D world, who's holding a staff. So if you think of like angel statues, like in our universe, think of like one of those, but like holding a sword, just kind of adorning a grave. There's a small cottage that stands about 20 paces behind the mausoleum itself. The side that's facing the graveyard is very well kept. But as you kind of like look around, as you take in the rest of the house, if you see other angles of it, it's pretty decrepit and definitely in need of repair. There's shingles missing, there's paint peeling, there's a window that's broken, there's shards of glass all around it. And it does not appear that anybody is currently at either building. However, as you hold on, I gotta switch to a different page. Not that one. However, as you get closer to where the mausoleum itself is, you will notice the figure, a kind of familiar looking figure of a wizard bustling around a statue. He's humming show tunes to himself. You think you might hear the hook of Defying Gravity coming from his direction as he is salting the earth in a very flamboyant kind of circle and lighting these votive candles in a very, very specific shape.
Now,
Steve's a stealth boy. What's your idea?
I was gonna say, are we currently hidden, or
Are we out in the open like?
yeah,
Hey,
are we just standing out in the fucking middle of the?
We're just like.
I mean, yeah, you're walking through the middle of a graveyard, but you have not been detected by anybody yet.
We take cover. Dive, dive, dive.
No, that's a good call. I would like to take cover behind
Gravestones.
something large enough to hide me.
Steve's squatted behind a gravestone with half of his torso and head sticking up, but he's just like, this is
Well,
good.
depending on how this roll goes.
It's like the same thing for me. My Warforged is a big boy.
I could fly up to a tree and pretend to be an actual bird. I'll be like,
Go ahead and
So-
everybody just roll stealth and then let me
Stealth?
know what you want to do.
I'm gonna do the tree thing if it works.
I like the tree thing.
What's stealth based off of?
Dexterity.
I rolled a
got
20.
a 17 plus 1. I got an 18.
A natural 20 or a dirty 20? Jesus Christ, Steve.
All right.
Yeah, what's a dirty 20? I got a net, I guess. What's the difference?
Okay, so a nat 20 is when you roll a 20 on your die. A dirty 20 is when you roll something else, but your modifiers bring you to 20.
Oh no, I got a natural 20.
Zach, what did you roll?
I got 17.
Ooh.
So
That's
how do you... All right, so how do you guys hide?
I'm in the tree.
Right. Yes, you find a very sturdy tree near the
around?
mausoleum that you can hide in. Yes.
I take off all my clothes to be naked and look like a bird.
What the
Sure.
Yes.
A couple of other crows like in the area see you land and they're like, "Ooh!" and they like come over and like hang out with you.
Yes.
Zach, what were you saying?
Brothers,
crowd
me.
because I'm a big fucking Warforged. It's kind of hard for me to stay hidden.
Yeah, so you find like a nice little kind of shadowed bush and just kind of hang out.
Yeah.
You stick your head in the ground like an ostrich. I'm sorry.
That would have been a nat 1. Steve?
Stuck my head in and just scream, I'm hidden!
I will kind of scope out real quick, like kind of where things are. Pick a spot about equidistant from like all the other headstones, and then T-pose. And between the grayish pigment of my orc skin and my absolute stillness, become indistinguishable from a headstone.
Okay. A headstone. You're not even going for the tree route. You're T-posing as a headstone. I like that.
Yep.
Okay.
From a distance, no one would be able to tell that it's not a cross.
Right. Yeah, and so you guys take these positions. The wizard, prepping the seance does not see you. And he, continues to kind of sing to himself as the woman that you saw from the tavern earlier begins to approach. She still seems to be kind of sniffling and crying to herself. And as she approaches Pablo, and she says, "Are you really sure I'm going to be able to see my dear Bobbert again? I just miss him so much, and I just really want to." And the Pablo kind of like stops her, kind of puts up a hand and goes, "Believe me, you bringing your Bobbert here to say goodbye one last time is one of the simplest services I could offer to you. I mean, it's simply much easier than raising him from the dead." And he kind of chuckles to himself a little bit. They continue kind of having a conversation about Bobbert himself. You notice that Pablo is able to take what looks like a specific kind of like possession that maybe belonged to Bobbert or belonged to this woman, and puts it in the middle of the seance circle. The amulet that you remember from around his neck earlier begins to glow. It kind of glows this like, this kind of a green aura around it a little bit. And it looks like he is about to start enchanting something.
Do we want to stop this, or do we want...
I think we let it go through.
Because, like, on one hand, on one hand, like, it's not... I don't know if this is the right thing to do. But, like, on the other hand, I also kind of want, this lady for, of course she's sad and upset. Maybe this will help her.
If that's what he's really doing.
Yeah. I think we should observe until,
Yes.
There's any trouble. If it looks like she's in danger.
I'm actually going to lower out of my T-pose very slowly and just pull a dagger from my belt. Like a throwing dagger.
Yeah, I have my shield and sword. Like, I'm ready to get in there.
This does not smell good to me, but we'll give it a shot.
Okay. So they continue this seance. And then suddenly it seems as if nothing is really happening. Like, it seems like something is about to happen, and then like it just kind of stops. Like, everything becomes very, very quiet. And the woman begins to kind of look around. She seems a little bit nervous, and she goes, "Well, what happened? Is everything all right? Is Bobbert coming?" And Pablo looks at her very calmly and says, "It would seem as if we have an audience."
Uh-oh. What's the plan?
So I will just let you guys know that you have been at this point detected. Because as a wizard himself, Pablo is able to detect magic. And to ensure the safety and security of the person that he is performing the seance for, he kind of did like a detect magic, around the area. Brian, this is important because you were able to feel it because he detected magic and it pinged on the book with the hourglass that you took from before.
Shit! Oh, shit!
Let's go. So
you have.
I,
Yep.
Good.
So now he knows that at least somebody is there with his book.
okay. Oh God, should I try and run behind my big burly defenders? I'm
I
gonna
was gonna say you're in a tree naked.
I'm gonna clamber down from the tree, throw on my cloak, and run behind Zonk.
I'm gonna emerge from the bush because if he's gonna know there's one of us, might as well just make sure he doesn't have
scampered
one
daintily
target.
behind Zonk.
Yeah. So as you guys make yourselves apparent, he's going to stand and take the woman and kind of like put her behind him a little bit, and to protect her. And it's just one of you found my book. Mind telling me why it's in your possession?
Because we've been investigating the grave robberies of what the fuck are their names? Ignacia and Zemward. And while that's not too major of a crime, whoever robbed the graves and then did the resurrection that's written in the book now has a body on their hands because Esmeralda's dead.
And the woman behind just goes, resurrection? You can bring people back? Pablo goes, well, of course I can.
Steve, are you still like? Steve is detective,
still
but he's
stealth?
just still like T-posing. Yeah, I was gonna ask, is he
I'm
still
not
stealth?
T-posing, but am I still stealth?
Well, did you move from your position to join your comrades?
No.
All right. Sure, I'll say that you're still stealth. You haven't moved. You're fine. You were not the one possessing the magic item, so.
Oh, so I was the only one detected, so I got Zonk detected.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I mean, if you were revealed, I would have stepped out anyway because I'm not going to let harm befall my allies, being the lawful neutral paladin that I am.
All right, so I look over at Drac and I give him that eye contact look, like be ready. I'm like, get your poop together, my friend.
Oh, I've got my dagger.
Just trying to. I'm not sure if this is the right thing to do. It's like.
What's your plan?
I don't know.
Okay.
To say you're desecrating graves and people's dead bodies. They deserve to rest in peace. This is wrong. You need to stop. You've already caught. There's already Esmeralda has died. I don't know if it's. I'm pretty sure it's related to you resurrecting them. So you have to pay for that crime because that's on your hands.
So you think that I killed Esmeralda? Is that what you're trying to infer here, robot?
Not directly, but beep boop. By resurrecting oh my, I keep forgetting their fucking name.
Ignacia and Zanwar.
That's it. Your resurrection of them has led to her death.
Look, I did the job that I was paid to do. That's what I am. I'm a traveling wizard. I came here for the Battle of the Barbarians to help do minor things, cure ailments and, little things like that. But I came at an opportune time. Esmeralda's family was gone. She wanted them back. She feels she was, their lives were taken too soon. So I resurrected them for a very, very fair price.
Resurrection is looked down upon in this D&D world, right? Like that's a big no-no, right?
Depends on who you are, I guess.
Well, I'm trying to separate it from like video game mentality where it's like, oh, resurrection, fine, yeah, cool, bring it back.
You as a character would probably believe that resurrection is a very, very wrong thing to do.
Okay, that's what
That's
sure. Okay.
Even in a lot of games, necromancy, which is essentially what this is,
right,
is
frowned upon.
Pretty frowned upon.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, if you're somebody who's like delved into dark magic, then yeah, okay, maybe you'd be like, yeah, I could see this being kind of fun. But you guys specifically would probably be like, no.
Okay. Well, that, sir, is not a job you should have been doing in the first place. And you need to stop. It's over. You need to turn yourself in for the crime of undeadifying people. I'm pointing my sword at him, but it's a comb.
It is not illegal in Mossbank to reanimate the dead. It was a service that I was paid to do, and I performed it. Esmeralda was happy to see her family again.
If that was the case, then why is she now dead?
Can I have... Give me 1 second. I have to switch between 2 pages. Sorry, it's just taking me a second. Look, I've resurrected bodies before. This isn't the first time that I've done it, and when you reanimate a corpse, it doesn't mean that their entire personality is resurrected with them. I never make the guarantee that they're going to come back the same way that they left the world. They probably were regretful that they were awoken from a restful sleep and attacked the person responsible. Wouldn't be the first time.
And did you inform Esmeralda that this was going to be the case? Or did you just kind of go, oh, hey, easy money?
If you think that I'm such the murderer, then I'll just have to prove myself a little differently than with my words. And you see that some small flames envelope his hands as he takes a bit of a battle stance.
I ready my sword and shield.
We need to roll for initiative.
Shit, I gotta tell my mom I'm gonna be late.
Sorry.
No worries, no worries. No, I just gotta make sure she knows.
I rolled a 5, by the way.
I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 9.
So Steve, Brian, myself, Zach.
Wait.
Okay. What kind of a weapon is a dagger? What is that classification?
Dagger, right?
Is that a simple weapon?
Say it's a
Oh,
dagger.
okay. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's a dagger. I got you now.
Shit, that's a really great question because I'm terrible.
I'm listening.
I'm terrible with weapons. Can I get Jess or Chat to give me a quick confirmation?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if it's considered a melee weapon because it's short range or if it's...
Yep, it is a simple weapon.
Okay, cool.
Melee weapon, simple, comma, dagger.
Yes, okay, cool.
Okay. All right, so in theory, I am still stealth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to hurl this dagger at our friend Pablo here, which I guess really wouldn't be a throw. I mean,
well, I was going to say, because that turns it from a melee to a ranged, because you're throwing it from your direction to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So... So what action are you trying to perform here? You're throwing this dagger at him. What is that trigger?
If it's a simple weapon, I have proficiency in simple weapons, which will give me a +3 to my throw. On top of whatever my other modifiers may be for this move.
So, okay, so you can use it as ranged. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and so would I also add dex to that? Question mark, dex modifier? Or just the proficiency?
I haven't attacked with weapons in so long. No, I believe it's your... Well, you have to roll to see if you hit first. It's not an automatic.
Yeah, but wouldn't the proficiency and all that get added to the hit roll, not the damage roll?
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes. So, yeah, for simple weapon, yeah, so I believe it should be dexterity plus proficiency.
Okay.
Plus whatever you get from your, what did you say was +3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that is my proficiency, so.
Oh, gotcha.
So it would be +5 total.
Yes.
That's going to be a 22.
All right.
So, and then am I going to get any kind of damage bonus because I'm stealth?
Only if it specifies that you do.
Okay.
If you have an ability that allows that, then yes. If not, then it is just going to be
okay.
The regular damage.
So I'm gonna say I'm gonna fucking huck this dagger at this guy, aiming for his fireball hand that's like ready to go. And I'm gonna do 1 damage. Look, not everybody can be Zach, who fucking deals 156 damage in a single hit. All right.
Right. So you throw this dagger, which slices Pablo kind of across the shoulder as it whizzes past him, and then thunks into the ground a few feet behind him, and he makes a bit of a hisses a little bit as the sting of the cut affects him. Brian, I think you're next. You're muted.
How close are we to this guy? No, I know. I was reading a spell. I'm sorry.
At this point, you are like easily within probably like 20 feet of him.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna use Call Lightning, because that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mostly. So basically, it looks like anyone within 5 feet has to make a Dexterity saving throw, but we're past that, and a creature takes 3d10 lightning damage, theoretically.
Right.
Gotta find my 10. I found it. So I roll it 3 times, and the cumulative is what it takes? Or...
Well, first you have to roll your d20 to see if you hit.
Right. Oh, nay! Hold on. I rolled an 11.
And what is your spell casting based off? Is it intelligence or wisdom?
Wisdom. So I get +3.
So I think you add your wisdom modifier to that as well.
So I have a 14.
Okay. Yep. So you are able to suddenly have this cloud, like this ugly gray kind of storm cloud, starts to sort of center. Are you centering it like within the area, or like are you trying to directly hit him with it? Like where?
Yeah, I want to center it around him because it says it lingers for a while, and I don't know if there's any repercussions to that, but I'd rather be towards him.
Yeah, so that's gonna. So what it is, it's a concentration. So you have to. So if you get hit or hindered in any specific way, then it will break the spell. But as long as you keep your concentration up, it will last for a while.
Okay, cool.
So then now you can do. Hold on, I have to make the save first before I figure out how much damage that is. And you said it was wisdom. So that for me is going to be a 6.
Oop, that's not.
What is the? Oh no, I mean a 6 would fail anyway. There's no skill that you have that's going to be lower than that, I can imagine. So now you roll your 3d10. So if you only have the 1d10, yeah, just roll it 3 times.
All right, I rolled a 1.
Okay.
I rolled a 5. And I rolled a 2.
So that's 8.
So what? Yeah.
Yep. So you summon this cloud above Pablo, and you just kind of absolutely strike him with it. As the cloud is still building, it's just kind of a smaller, bolt of lightning. But he definitely feels it.
Okay. I go over that.
Yep. And so we're gonna take the 8 damage for that. But he is immediate. Hold on, I don't have that screen open. I have such a simple setup for this that it's not really actually feasible. Okay, so then he is immediately going to retaliate to this, and he's going to say, "You honestly think that you can defeat a wizard of my caliber?"
Uh-oh.
And I take it back.
And he goes to prepare with his oops, what's wrong? with his hands, he hurls a very small bolt of fire, and he's going to try to bring it directly to you, Squelk, because you're the one who basically attacked him first, and now he's trying to out-wizard you out of vanity.
He thinks he could out-wizard a demigod, okay.
And I have rolled a 13 for the hit.
Okay.
So that goes against your armor class. Does that meet or beat your armor class, or is it below?
Where the hell did you put this paper?
It's in front. I'm gonna be dead. I don't see it. Armor class.
It's gonna be the top middle-ish area where your HP stuff is.
It just says light leather. That's all I wrote. I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hold on. Shit. That's not the thing I wanted to Google. Thanks, though. I think it's 11 plus... Hold on. I don't want to say that out loud because I might be wrong. Okay, so yeah, it's 11 plus your dexterity is your armor class for wearing light leather.
All right, so I have 12 then because I have +1 dexterity.
Okay, so I beat your armor class, so that means the attack is going to hit. So that is not this one. That is 1d10. Okay. All right, so that is going to be 6 fire damage. So this tiny little, it's kind of like an ember, not like a big flamethrower, but like a little kind of an ember, kind of spits at you and smacks you for 6 damage.
Oh, this boy did 2 less damage than me, and he thinks he's better. All right. I see you.
All right, Zach.
Could I use a bonus action before I attack, or is that something that's like would be post attack? My tongue, my sword is has flame tongue. It says that you can use a bonus action to speak this magic sword's command word, causing flames to erupt from the blade.
Oh yeah, that you can use before your attack. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, then that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to brandish my blade and shout "Bushinger," and it's gonna light up on fire. Props to anyone who gets that reference, because
I got you. I got you.
Good. I'm glad. It makes me very happy.
Good.
And I'm gonna take a big fat swing at him. Come on, if there's ever a time to hit a
For
20,
2
it's
damage.
now. 15.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. So I got the swing in. All right. So now, where's my? So 1d8 of slash. Where's my 8? Are you the 8? Yep. And then it deals an extra 2d6 fire damage when it hits. So that's going to be a 7 plus 6.
So total damage dealt?
6 plus, hold on, one more d6. Plus 3 equals 16 damage.
Excuse me. So this, as he's distracted from attacking Squelk, and you're able to just kind of, yell and go right for him, you were able to get a very sizable hit onto Pablo, and he starts to kind of step back a little bit, and he just goes, "Please, I really don't want this violence to continue." And Steve, it's now going to be your turn.
Alrighty. So I am going. How far away from this guy am I?
You at this point would be. I'm going to say you're probably closer to 30 feet away because you're kind of hanging out as a statue.
Wait a minute, I have extra attack. Can I still use it even though I used a bonus action with my sword?
Is extra attack also a bonus action?
I'm gonna double check. Where is it? Extra attack. Hello, extra attack. Where did you go? That's not it. That's not it. You can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn.
All right.
Swinging again. 13. Not what I just rolled. Shit. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 1d8. That's like, no, that was bad. 7. It was like I'm rolling it on my cover to my box, so it was like tilted. So I was looking at the line between
Gotcha.
2 and 3. That's why I did it.
Gotcha.
Not
No, you're good. You're good.
One.
Just keep rolling.
5 and 6. Whew. And 18 damage.
Wait, so you're just like winning the game essentially?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beefy boy!
So
Beefy boy!
you go to make this swing, you go to attack him one more time, and just before you're able to hit him, he goes, "Please, wait!" And he takes his hands, you see he casts a quick mage hand, which is kind of like this extra hand that just kind of like a shadowy like hand kind of comes out of his chest, and it grabs onto the blade, and he goes, "Please just let me explain. I didn't intend for things to go as badly as they did. I really, in all honesty, just wanted to help Esmeralda say goodbye to her family. Unfortunately, the items that I used for the seance weren't strong enough to keep them contained, so I had to do it myself. For a little while, I had to keep them in my room at the Humbuddy Inn. I didn't know where else to put them that would put anybody else in danger, so I figured if they were with me, they would be safe, and so would everybody else. Well, unfortunately, I don't quite think that was the case. You see, they wailed so much and caused such a commotion that even after I removed them from the room, their sadness and grief lingered. I couldn't stay there myself, for the moaning kept me up all night. I couldn't initially figure out why they weren't resting peacefully and why they were continuing to become upset, and then I realized they just didn't want to be awakened. They were at peace with their death. So I brought them to Esmeralda at the manor to convince her of that the body should not have been reanimated, and that it would be in the best interest of everyone involved if we put them back where we found them and kept them dead. Esmeralda broke into the room before I could get away to tell her, and they killed her. So I had to take the matters into my own hands, and I had to burn the animated corpses. There's no other way to cleanse the soul and get rid of that completely without destroying the bodies beyond repair, and burning is the only way that I am capable of doing that successfully. I got rid of them. I took everything from the manor that could trace me to this horrible, horrible happenstance, and continued on with my business, hoping nobody would know. Went back to the battle, performed minor healing as I could, took on this seance. Well, I was a little upset with Esmeralda for everything that happened, and before I burned the corpses, I may have told them that they had to kill Esmeralda, but they did it by their own hands. They wanted to kill her so that she could join them. I left her in the room to make it look like she herself wanted to be with her family. If the whole family's gone, the problem's gone. Right?
That's not your decision to make.
Wow. Messed up head.
You need to pay for the crime of not only you may not be able to pay for the crime of resurrecting her family against their will, but you do need to pay for the crime of Esmeralda's death.
Well, fine. Instead of killing me, just turn me in. I would rather live in a dungeon for the rest of my life and rot with the decisions I've made than have to die in this small, decrepit town.
What do you think, boys? We bringing him in, or is this the end of the line?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
No, the right thing to do is to bring him in. But if
Well,
he's
yeah.
going to get charged with the fact that he resurrected people who didn't want to be resurrected, then not only basically told them to kill Esmeralda, but then he also had to he says he had to, but he also desecrated their corpses.
Lit them on fuego.
He's not going to get proper justice here.
I don't know that he's not gonna be able to get out if we imprison him. He's a wizard.
That's true.
Who knows? There's a billion and fucking one spells in this game, and I'm sure some of them gets them out of jail.
Gotta blink around like a wizard.
That's it, man. Press Y to blink around like a wizard.
I mean, we could down him.
He doesn't fucking seem very remorseful.
He certainly doesn't.
Yeah, his biggest concern was that he couldn't sleep with the moaning zombies. Fuck him! Fuck him! Kill him!
Yep.
Get him!
It's my turn.
It's over.
So
He needs to pay for his crimes.
I am going to say, yeah, and I'm sure you felt real bad about charging them all the money for this service too. Just wanted to help them. You fucking disgust me. And I am going to draw
I forgot that he was charging them.
a dagger of venom, and use my action to cause a thick black poison to coat the blade. I will, and using my rogue's, let's see, what's it called? My cunning action, I will execute a dash action as a bonus action, which gives me double movement speed for this turn. And with my newly poisoned dagger, I'm just gonna fucking bum rush this guy.
Roll to hit.
I can't. I used my action to coat the dagger, but I'm going after him.
Oh, okay. So you've coated your
My
dagger to
action
prepare
this
for
turn
it.
was to activate the poison.
Gotcha. I
And
didn't
my
realize that
bonus
was
action
separate.
is to charge this guy.
Okay, great. So you've prepared your dagger. You are kind of like in the process of like making your way to him, I guess, at
Right.
this point.
Right.
And as you get close enough to him, the woman behind him throws herself in front, like kind of like in the way a little bit, and just goes, "Wait! Stop!"
Lady!
All of this is absolutely horrible. This town is riddled with death, and horrible things happen here all of the time. But taking the life of somebody else, no matter what he's done, just to quiet him, having that blood on your hands, making the decision of life and death just as he's been doing, does that make you any better than him? How will there be peace if we just keep killing each other off? Let him live with his horrible decisions for the rest of his life. Let him stay in this absolutely horrible town in a room too small to even stand in. And let him understand what he's done wrong. Let him be the carrier of his own life and death, not you.
Steve bum rushes her as well. No.
God damn it, technically she's right. But he's not gonna feel bad about it. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna stop my rush because obviously there's an innocent in the way. I'm not gonna fucking take her down. But I'm gonna I don't want to use an intimidate per se because I don't.
We apprehend him, right? We cuff him, but we're going to take him. He has to pay for the crime of the resurrection of them.
Can we take him somewhere other than Mossbank?
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest.
Let's take him somewhere where he's definitely going to be under lock and key.
Yeah.
I think this.
Are you saying that you don't trust your good friend Talia at the City Watch to keep him under lock and key?
Not even a little bit.
Miss Lion fighting tattoos on her arms takes no shit. Talia, you're not gonna trust her?
No, man, this guy has magic. He doesn't need a weapon to escape. Like a physical attacker, they can strip him of his weapon and armor and render him effectively useless. But this guy's got magic.
He
I
had
don't
skill
like
to
that.
resurrect two people. Like
I don't like that.
I mean, he can't easily get out of a cell that has no, I don't know what, protection against people with magic. I'm by that.
Well,
So what do you guys think?
if you take him out of the city and take care of him somewhere outside of Mossbank, you're not going to be able to prove to the people of Mossbank that things have been taken care of.
I mean, we can tell the mayor when we leave. Show him the evidence. He'd tell him what he.
What evidence are you going to show him if you take?
We have the ledger of the payments. We can bring him to Esmeralda's house where her body is buried. He stated that he made it look like they ran away, like they took clothes. Their clothes missing. He would have to tell where the bodies are. I don't know where he burned the bodies, and we also have Esmeralda's diary. Did you take that, Brian, when you were leaving, when we were ready, when you were reading that? Did you take the diary from Esmeralda's house?
I brought it to you guys and I gave it to you. I don't know what happened to it after that.
So you stole a wizard's book.
No.
You stole a dead girl's diary.
Oh, yeah.
You kill a man, take him outside of the city to hide his body, and then you go back to the mayor and say, "Yeah, we took care of all of it."
No. We said we were gonna take him with us. We're gonna kill him. Because she stopped us. We're gonna apprehend him. We're gonna take him somewhere where he can properly pay for the crime of resurrecting that family.
I'm not gonna kill him outside the city. We're gonna take him to
take him out of here and quietly snuff him out, like a couple of hitmen. We're gonna apprehend him, bring him to the mayor, show him all the evidence that the matter's settled. He's the guy, and then we're gonna take him somewhere where he can properly pay for his crimes.
Can I roll an Arcana check, please?
On what?
I would like to know just how much of this guy's power is coming from the amulet he wears.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good check. Go for it.
I never said I was smart.
Yeah, no, sorry.
I
will let you know that the amulet, now that like the battle has kind of paused, has dimmed. So it's not, the light of that amulet is no longer shining.
I would like to approach our wizard friend and just grab the amulet and fucking rip it off.
Okay.
What do we need the amulet for? I'm sorry.
I'm hoping that by confiscating it, he will be less of a threat. He will be able to channel less power.
Oh, okay.
And be less of a liability in terms of escaping.
Okay.
Do I need to roll a strength check for that?
No, I'm gonna let you have it.
Okay.
Removing the amulet doesn't have any necessarily immediate effects, but being so close to Pablo now, you can see like there is tiredness in his face. There is sweat beating down like the side of his face. Like, I mean, you could sneeze on him at this point and he would probably be dead. And the fight, he still has his mage hand to just kind of hold Zach at bay, but he's not making any kind of offensive position towards any of you at this point. He just kind of looks tired.
Yeah, I say we just apprehend him and bring him somewhere where he can properly pay.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Friend Brian?
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, so you guys apprehend him. He gives himself to you very, very easily, so you are able to, I don't know, bind his wrist or whatever you want to do to take him with you. Are we just like exiting Mossbank? You don't want to talk to anybody before you leave?
We're gonna bring him. We're gonna go to the mayor and at least explain.
Okay.
Here's the evidence we have. Here is what went down. What he told us. We're gonna properly get him somewhere where he's taken care of.
Cool.
And I think we should bring the lady with us too.
She's gonna follow you. She has no idea what else to do. She's so scared. She does not want to be by herself. Yeah. She almost kind of basically like clings onto your arm and is just like, take me home. Like she's just very scared and just wants to be out of the situation. So the five of you make your way out of the Memorial Hill. As you kind of approach the gates to this whole graveyard area, you see the mayor, you see Talia from the Night Guard and a couple of concerned citizens, and they all kind of come up to the gate, and Talia just says, "We heard this great commotion coming from the area, came to investigate. What happened here?"
Nothing good, but it's over now.
And Amos, who's a couple of steps behind Talia, but kind of like tries to, poke his nose in your direction, and Pablo? What was it you? Did you do this to our town? And he just kind of lowers his head and he just goes, "I didn't intend to, but I'm not going to deny that I was not in control of the situation like I thought." And Talia just kind of like looks between him and the three of you and just goes, "I'm at full capacity right now. I can't afford to take somebody else in. What are you guys going to do with him?"
We're going to bring him somewhere where he will be properly paying for his crimes, and there won't be any threat of him getting out.
"I'll follow you to the gates of the city. I don't want you to leave without being under my protection, and once you go, you can do with him as you wish. He's just a traveler after all. He's not really our responsibility as a citizen."
Have we already visited the mayor, are we assuming by this point, or?
The mayor's with you guys.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'd like to launch into the explanation and then make our way.
So before you guys head out, the mayor kind of reaches into his pocket and he hands one of you, I don't know who wants to take it, 250 gold pieces. And he says, "Thank you for once again, ending the horribleness and the tragedy that seems to surround our town. Would it be all right if I call on you again if anything happens?"
Anytime.
Absolutely.
And
I'm
Yep.
just gonna take one of those gold pieces, put it in my mouth, and nod.
You get a little bit of a chuckle out of the mayor, and he goes, "All right. Well, thank you again, and please stay safe." And he shakes each of your hands in turn. He takes the woman. She kind of like goes to all the citizens, and Talia leads the four of you out of the town with the battles of the Battle of the Barbarian, like the noise still kind of ringing in the ear a little bit, though it is becoming quite late. People still seem to be fighting. And as you kind of pass through the town to make your way to the gates, you see Laszlo the Tiefling is kind of leaning against the door frame of her shop, watching you all go by with a bit of a sad look in her eyes. You see Buster and Ralph, the two human men, are standing outside of the arena, and as they kind of watch you by, they kind of nod their heads in respect. You see the dwarf, Dave the dwarf, the ticket seller. He also kind of gives you like a little bit of a salute as you go, seeing you with the apprehended prisoner, and you make your way out of town, and Talia says to you at the gates, "Here's a little something that Horace said if we ever saw you again, he wanted you guys to have it." And she hands you a scroll that's wrapped and sealed with wax, with like a wax seal, and a small wrapped package. And she goes, "I don't recommend opening it while you're still in Mossbank, but he wanted to make sure that you guys had something to remember him by. Thanks again for saving our town." And she lets you guys go.
Now we're on our way. We can go the distance.
And that, my friends, is the end of our adventure of Murder at Mossbank. The dead don't die. Pablo has been exposed as a traveling wizard who had something go a little bit out of hand and ended up killing more people than saving.
Yeah, fuck that guy, am I right?
And though your reputation with Louis Vuitton will probably never be absolved, at least the town of Mossbank is once again thankful for your services in helping their somewhat bloodthirsty citizens.
What an ass.
I just want to remind everybody that's listening that this adventure can be found on DM's Guild, as well as the first part of the adventure, the Murder at Mossbank. Both parts, along with other adventures, can be found on DM's Guild, all created very lovingly by Jess. There are links. I think Nightbot's been throwing out some links, but you can also check out Jess's Twitch and Twitter should have links as well. So I really strongly encourage anybody to get these adventures and try them out for yourselves. There's a lot in there that we didn't cover because of the specific route that we took. So there are things you will discover as well that we didn't get into, which are really cool. And I suggest just kind of supporting Jess through either following, subbing, whatever on Twitch here. And also at Just the Human on Twitter as well. They would really, 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 really appreciate it if you supported them in all of their endeavors. And I would appreciate that too. And if you guys want to plug anything before we go, that would be really super awesome.
Go follow Ginger Hour Girl and Festival Picnic on Twitch.
Yes, make sure you follow these two awesome content
creators.
Oh
yeah, we stream too. Oops.
Yeah, fancy that. Your boy is attempting to make affiliate on Twitch. So that is at festival_picnic, all lowercase. And you can follow me on Twitter at festival_YT, capital F, capital Y, capital T.
Awesome. And if you guys are, anybody who's watching, if you guys are interested, not only just following us in our adventures, but joining our adventures, I am always open to running games for other people or play testing anybody's creative works as we go. I also stream with Jess on Wednesday nights, except this week it's Tuesday. And then Stove, I don't know if you want to open it up to your followers, but your whole little Stardew thing, like I don't know if you're planning community stuff. But if anybody wants to hang out and play games, we're always down. So thank you all for coming in and watching. I hope you check out everything that Jess does. And if you want to talk about the adventure, if there's things that you liked, if there's things that you didn't, if there's questions that just weren't quite answered that you want to know about, I would love to kind of just go over my process, not right now, but people can message me or whatever. I'd love to go over my process of how I do things and what I thought of the adventure. And I'll be posting a review on DM's Guild, a spoiler-free review of how much I really liked it so that you all can see that too. So with that, I think we're done. Jess, I don't know if there's anything that you need to add before we end this whole thing, but I will leave the rest of this in your hands.
All right, well, thank you y'all so much for joining. This was really fun to watch y'all play. I'm very sad that I wasn't able to show the world the first Murder in Mossbank that y'all did. But anyways, appreciate y'all for hanging out on this Sunday, and thank you everyone who is here to watch. I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back on this channel tomorrow for probably Dead by Daylight. Steve, I'm nodding and looking your way if you want to join.
All right. Right on.
All right, take care, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Oh.